It always freaks me out the way it goes dark first. I thought we have lost it. Oh, hey, how y'all doing?
And we are live.
Welcome to the wonderful world of HungryHeath. I am not a classically trained chef. I am a self-taught home cook. I have studied under several television chefs. I have a PhD from YouTube University and a black belt in Google Food. The best things ever happened to me, and I would recommend you do it if you can. You marry up. Find you somebody better than you to get married to. This woman is the best.
Wow, we're laid up thick.
Well, I got to tell them the truth. And y'all, this we're making tonight is terrific. When we first got together, she was a master baker. And she has learned how to do it. She's learned how to do it even keto. She's unlocked the puzzle. I love it.
Yeah.
And I say at least 90% of all keto baked goods use almond flour, which is no bueno for me. She figured out a workaround for that too. We use pork rind crumbs instead.
Mm-hmm.
And we started out by buying the pork and good ones, but we figured out, because we're penny pinchers now too, that we can buy them cheaper at HEB and grind them ourselves. And we just reuse the container. We're being thrifty too and upcycling.
That's right.
We're helping the environment as well.
There we go.
So, winning.
Yeah, so we're going to get started. I saw there was a few comments that isn't on Restream, but I'm going to read them real quick. So I saw Renee was firstest. Yay. And then L Strange said that, hey, yo, Max and I are getting ready for a concert.
Oh, nice.
I think that says...
Don't party too hard.
Phantogram.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of them.
Y'all have a great night. And she goes, Parrot Head Gravy. I hope. Best gravy ever. Isn't it? I love this gravy, y'all.
Oh, I forgot to do, though. Dang
what?
It. Every morning, I'm supposed to restart that dehydrator, and I forgot to do it today. So it's just been sitting there.
Okay.
Oh.
And then I saw Shauna. Hey, Shauna. She said, oh, have a great time, Lisa. And hi to Max.
Howdy.
Thank you. And then I think everything else I am seeing on here. So, yes, I am so excited. Biscuits and gravy has always been a favorite of mine, right? I love it. Now, used to,
I'd be silly and just buy a can of the Grand's biscuits or even a store-bought, whatever.
Those were good. But I have to say, I mean...
Yours are better.
Right. My favorite way, old school, y'all, I would make cast iron biscuits. So I would get my cast iron skillet, put some butter down in the bottom, and then when I would make my biscuit dough, I would chunk little pieces of cold butter in there. So that would like make it real fluffy. And then I'd make these big size biscuits in my cast iron skillet, cook it in there. And then I'd make my skillet gravy. And it was just amazing. And I have to say, one of my favorite biscuits pre-keto was Whataburger's jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah.
It was so good. I always liked my biscuit to have like that buttery kind of like when your hand, when you touch a biscuit, your hand should show butter on it. After a nice fresh hot biscuit, it should be greasy, a little greasy, and it should be light and fluffy. And I feel like this recipe, time and time again, is very close to that.
The only second to that one I used to love was actually, y'all gonna think it's funny, was Popeyes.
Yeah.
I like their biscuits. Nobody other restaurant ones were really good, honestly.
Right.
It was kind of crazy too, because I remember I used to work at Whataburger, and when they would make the biscuits, they come frozen. You just pull them out, put little hockey pucks on the baking sheet, and throw in the oven.
Mm-hmm. But
so they weren't hand making anything.
No, well, of course not.
The only thing they hand did there is we sliced the tomatoes fresh, and then we cored the lettuce, the whole head of lettuce.
Wow.
Yeah, everything else was all prepackaged. Oh, I'm sorry, the burger patties were fresh.
That's right, fresh, never frozen.
Right.
here's a big
Plump?
Yeah. You have to kind of make sure sometimes, y'all. On that one.
Oh.
I'm just gonna get a little bit out of here to make up for that little chunk there. Okay. So I like these. Now I'm gonna say my only complaint with the pork rind biscuits is sometimes the pork panko can be a little strong. And so I find it is best with this if you add some good seasonings to it, and the cheddar kind of cuts that. So what I have here, and I know we have a biscuit recipe somewhere, but anyways, this is baking powder, baking soda, equal parts. And I added, because we're out of fresh jalapenos, so I am adding Texas 5 Spice and a little bit of Slap Your Mama. And yeah. And then I see a little chunk in here, so we're going to try to squish it. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We also need the coconut flour.
In the freezer, right?
Yeah. And I use the coconut flour because the pork panko is very greasy. And so
it absorbs it.
Yeah, the coconut flour will help kind of break that down. Thank you, dear.
All right, well, I'm off. I'm going to turn that on.
Okay. So here's all of that. And I'm going to put first the dry ingredients. And then let me get the third cup of this. Hey, I see Lynette Zog is here. Hey, girl, how you doing? That's a little much. Yeah.
And if y'all notice, I'm still waddling around using my cane. I'll address that with y'all on Sunday if you tune in.
Of course, you get to tune in. Okay. So, now that I have all of the dry ingredients, I really want to mix it well. And the main thing is all of the pork rind crumbs, I want to try to get, I think of it as like getting them coated with all of that seasoning, the coconut flour, and the baking powder and soda. I just tried it. And then I look for any clumps. You know, when you hand do your own pork rind crumbs, sometimes you will get like, you know, little pieces like I did. So I just kind of go through here and make sure I get all that cleared out. And then also the same thing with the coconut flour can do that too. So just make sure you break those up. All right. And, oh, yeah, and then Heath, I'm sorry. We will also need the heavy cream at this point. Yeah. See, I found another chunk.
Oh, here. Put them in this.
Oh, okay. That's
Well,
good.
I already put that thing away.
Yeah. All right. And I just go through here. I have tried to use a sieve before, but it doesn't work as well. I think because the pork panko is so thick and greasy, it just doesn't seem to work. So I just kind of really stir it well through here. And then now we're going to put in the cheese. Now tonight, so I mentioned the Whataburger. They use cheddar in theirs. I got this really cheap. It was $1.22 for a huge block of Gouda cheese, and so I just shredded it, and we still had half of that block left. So 50 cents worth of Gouda cheese here.
I didn't even realize we still had that, or I would have already eaten it. Because y'all, I am a cheese addict. I can't think of hardly any cheese out there that I do not like.
Right? That's true.
It'll be perfect too. We said we're gonna have some of this left over.
Mm-hmm. Now I like to do cat head biscuits. If you don't know why it's a cat head, is because it's called that They're supposed to be as big as a cat's head. So nice, big, gargantuan. How do you say it?
Gargantuan.
Thank you. Biscuits. And I like that. In fact, I remember on one of our road trips, I think this is when we were doing the West, somewhere, where was that place? Was that in California? Remember it was like where you had that hot honey? It was like Roots or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was California.
I think it was somewhere in California. It was like Ruth's Diner. And we really wanted to go there. Pre-keto, y'all. But they had cat head dough biscuits. And I'm telling you, these biscuits were huge. And so that's what I always remember and think of. And I think they play really well for doing a wonderful sausage gravy over it. So now I got all my dry ingredients, and now I'm going to add my wet. So I'm doing a 1/3 cup of heavy cream. I'm just going to pour that like that. You mind putting the lid back on there? And then now I'm just going to put that in here like this.
Do you still eat this?
No.
I'm trying to clear off some of this that we don't want to need anymore.
Right. And then I already have my oven preheated to 425. I'm just going to stir this. I have a couple eggs here. The original recipe, I did not put eggs, but I found the other day we did eggs, and I kind of liked it a little bit better. Okay, just kind of stirring that in there. And it will end up kind of being a wet dough. That's what we're wanting. And it could be because it's wintertime and the dry air is making this a little drier. And that's why I ended up adding the eggs. So how's everyone doing? I want to say, oh, Sharon, I see she just popped in.
Howdy.
I want to say we survived.
Yes.
I think this is the first time in forever that we actually had, bad weather, but we did not lose power.
No calamities. No, we did lose power. We did it twice during the little fiasco, but it was only out briefly. It was out long enough for me to lose. I didn't even have to put in a time correction sheet at work.
It was like not even a minute, y'all. So to me, I don't consider that a power outage. I mean, yeah, they did send a thing about there was a power interruption, but it was literally less than a minute. So I don't consider it a power outage.
See, you're
so sorry.
Cold too.
Probably. But anyways, I feel like that is a huge win for us because I think because we did not lose power, that's why we survived this storm without incident.
Right. We didn't lose anything like last time.
Yeah, nothing. No trees, nothing. And I think everybody in the subdivision did well. So that just shows you if you can have power on, then bad weather is really not that bad. You know what I mean? I wanted to enjoy the snow because I do like it. As long as I'm not having to work or drive in it, right? I do enjoy it. But then I don't want to say scared, but I was cautioned because I was like, I don't want to suddenly start like, oh, this is so much fun. And then we lose power and everything goes bad, right? So I was trying to enjoy it, but not, I don't know. That probably sounds weird.
I enjoy it by watching the pictures everybody else is posting about it.
But I liked going out and seeing it. I would go out with the dogs a couple of times and just touch the snow because, and several of you commented that, oh, thank you, Brenda. Several of you had commented that, yeah, the snow or blah, 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 and you grew up with snow and so it's not as magical to you. And it's like, yeah, if you grew up with it, even if you've moved and you grew up with it, and then you're like, it's just snow, y'all. But for somebody who grew up in the South where there's not been snow, like that was just unheard of. See, I feel like this is still a little dry. I'm gonna keep stirring it.
But I saw a guy's reel earlier today on Facebook, and he posted a picture of him in New Orleans. Where it's
yeah.
He was like, look, it's all like a winter wonderland. He goes, that was yesterday. He was looking it up today.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how it's all different.
Right. But yes, when you've never grown up with it and you never actually seen it, to see that much, it was kind of like, wow, that's so cool. Like, this is what snow is. But then it got me to thinking, and I want to know, because I know most of you live in places where it's a yearly thing. You know you're going to get snow, right? Every year. So here's my thing. If you are somewhere where you know you're always getting snow, like they were telling us, if the temperature falls below 32, for more than a couple hours, you need to be dripping your faucets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, our faucets have been dripping since Monday, and I was like, gosh, I hate wasting the water and everything. So I'm like, so if you live somewhere that has snow like that, where you're getting it for a month or whatever, however long you get it, are you really dripping your water that whole time? Or is that just like a Southern thing?
Well, my thing is too, I don't feel like we're wasting it. We're using it as a tool.
Well, yeah, that's true. You're right. But it's just like, I was just like, I wonder, do people who get snow on the regular, like, are they always dripping their water, for several months? I was just curious. So let me know how you do, if that's what you have to do, or if that's just like for people who only get freezing temperatures for a couple of days. Because I was also thinking maybe their pipes are built a little different.
I think so. Their homes are too.
So
they built everything differently up there. I mean, look, even they have snow. A lot of them change their tires. They have snow tires.
Yeah, that's true. I know in
way
Canada,
of living is totally different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Elements. That's why I always say too, the people down here can barely drive in the sunshine. That's why I'm glad I didn't go anywhere during all this.
Oh no. I was like, when I went outside, I saw people driving in it. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you are so brave. I am so sorry you have to drive in this. Because I know some people have to. They, like, Renee's in physical therapy and medicine. If you work at a hospital, you really don't have a choice. You have to. And so I feel bad that you had to drive in that, especially when that's just not the norm here. So anyways, this will kind of feel like Play-Doh. I know that sounds like kind of like, but yes, it's going to feel like Play-Doh. Now I'm going to do this into 4s. That's why I put the gloves on, because it's just easier to form these with my hand. And then I'm going to put it on my cooking sheet here, my baking sheet.
Her pampered chef.
Right, my pampered chef.
Thanks, Mom.
I'm just going through.
Yeah, because my mommy did get us this. I don't remember if it was for her birthday, of Christmas, or what. I just remember she had just arrived one day, and she said, happy, happy, happy.
I know. Thank you. So, yes, I'm just going to form these. And then put those on here. And then also that helps, because then I can pick up more dough when I put it in the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So how did everybody else fare this week? I saw Renee was in here. So Renee, how are you feeling now? Because you passed your stone, right? Finally. Now, is that all of them, or was that just one? If you haven't already answered. If you've already answered in the chat, because I know I'm behind on the chat, then that's okay. Okay. And I just try to form these.
I wonder how it would work.
Oh.
What if we put meat in the middle of them and then baked it? Almost like a Juicy Lucy kind of thing.
Oh.
Or reverse Juicy Lucy, I guess, actually. We're not going to do that tonight, obviously, but one day I want to try that now.
Okay.
Is there an actual name for that, though? Or would it be like a biscuit kolache, I guess?
I guess it would be like a kolache, yeah.
We could and then I'm thinking we could put like Pernell's in the middle of it. Little sausage patties.
Yeah. That would be good. Okay.
You want to get one?
No, not tonight. We got enough going on, y'all. Okay.
Because originally when we made this the other day, to take a picture and everything like that, because we make a sausage gravy.
Oh, so good.
But she was also thinking about making Pernell's on the side as well. And I was thinking about that tonight, but I was also thinking maybe frying some eggs to go with it.
But then, after we made it and I saw how much sausage, I was like, I don't think we need more sausage.
But I still think we might want to do a fried egg tonight, though.
I mean, if you want a fried egg, I'll fry you one.
I mean, it's already going to be the plate thing's going to be here.
Yeah. Okay. There it is. So we're going to we'll clean this up. And then we're going to start on the sausage. And then I'll get the gravy going. And
we don't need this at all then, huh? Either one of these. Yes or no?
No, we don't. We should be good now. Let me get to some of these comments. Y'all are so active tonight. Thank you for that, y'all. That's amazing. And again, welcome to the Friday night feast. Oh, what's it? No, I'm good. Never mind. Okay. A stoner said, hey, yo, happy Friday, Horde. And she said, I'm driving. And she said, Lisa, you're so sweet. And then Shauna said, errands today, no mom till Monday.
Oh.
Now I'm so happy for a few days break. Yes. You've been doing so much for your mom. So that's good that you have a couple days break because you definitely deserve it because you're still healing yourself, girl. Patty's here and said, good evening. Putting you guys in the TV, then plugging things in my phone and laptop are both almost dead. Oh, don't you hate that where you're like, oh no, I've been using it so much.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for that to go.
All right.
Shawnee said, I'm so worn out, sore, and tired. I bet. I'm telling you.
Me too.
Taking care of someone, it is mentally and physically exhausting.
15?
Do 12. It is mentally and physically exhausting. And so that is a lot for you to take on. And you definitely need a few days to recuperate and heal yourself. And I see Rickwood's here. Hey, Joe. She said, hi, Horde. Great Friday night feast. And thank you, Rickwood. And just as a reminder, tomorrow, yes, for sure, tomorrow is the channel member cook-along. We're so excited about this recipe, y'all. It is so good. I can't wait to have it again tomorrow. Okay, so I got my hot and spicy sausage.
I feel like there's something else we're supposed to add to this.
It's the heavy cream. I guess you put it back.
I put it up. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Oh, and then I guess I need something to
spatulator. You want the
Well, I guess you need it, right? Whatever you want to use. Because he's the master at breaking it, whatever you want to use.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the master at breaking up this sausage or any meat. I'm not that good at it. I think I just don't have the patience.
Dang it. The one spoon I like is dirty.
Oh. Oops. Okay. And then I'm going to take my gloves off.
You just put them in there. You're good.
Yeah. And then
I do, you just hold tight to the skillet and just go to work.
I know. You're just so good at it. All right. And let's see, Brenda F. Hey, Brenda. She said, good evening. I do the same with home ground pork rinds and the Porky Good container. I mean, it's the perfect container, right?
So I think we bought originally, I think we bought it as a 4-pack.
Yeah.
We saved those two.
Yes.
By accident, actually.
So it really is nice. They're just the perfect size. Huh? Renee said, love when the biscuit is buttery when you touch it and leaves salty fingers. Oh, yeah, I did put a little salt in that too, but that's to taste. Yes, I like that. Like truly finger licking good, right? Shada said, yesterday had to have my friend Craig come remove mom's surgery bandage from her shoulder. He's a nurse. When I took a pic for my niece, I almost hurled.
Oh, wow. But yeah, we buy these 5-ounce bags at HEB. These are the unflavored ones. And what are they usually? Less than $2 a bag?
Yeah, $1.98. But when I get them on sale where it's 75 cents off that, then I'll buy like 6 bags, y'all.
And then every once in a while, we'll run a deal where you buy 2 get 1 free.
Yeah, that too. Oh, wow. Ugh, that does not sound fun.
Uh-oh.
Rickwood said, my grandmother used to make what we called angel biscuits.
Oh.
Big, very fluffy, and so good. She never measured anything, went by what it looked like. That is the best kind of cook, you know?
My dad used to go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
My dad used to make chicken and dumplings all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And his cheap way of doing it, he would buy the store brand biscuits and just break them up. That was his dumplings.
Lynette said, hi, guys. Howdy. Happy Friday. How are you doing, Lynette? Rickwood says, shoulder surgery is not easy, Shauna. Sending lots of love and hugs to both of you, and you're hoping your mom is taking her pain meds. Yeah, that does not sound, poor thing. Yeah, Renee, did you actually have snow? I don't remember. And Shauna said she's doing quite well, able to do a few things by herself. Oh, that's good.
Aww.
But I have told her only if she doesn't make a mess or more work for me. What?
I put that knife up, but I could have used the knife to scrape this off.
Well, as it cooks, as it heats up, it'll come off. That is hilarious. You're like, fine. You can do that, but you better not give me more work to do. And then Shauna said, Mom's had plenty of pay meds. Oh my God. Yesterday she called my friend Craig, my ex-fiance's name, and it's almost 20 years. Oh no. That's hilarious. Brenda said, my Leo loves the snow too. Is that your dog? Yeah, I think Sam enjoys it. I mean, he wasn't like rolling around in it and everything. I think he was just kind of confused. Because I don't think we had him in 21, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we didn't have him in 21. So I think this might have been the first time he's seen snow, y'all. And so he was just, I mean, he no problems going out in it, but I don't think he like knew what to do with it. Delilah, on the other hand, is like, oh. I feel like she's just kind of like, I need the sun and a beach, right? 22 Cute Cat. Hey, Lynn said, hi there, Shelly Heath and everyone. I didn't get my YouTube notice.
Oh, no.
So I'm late. Oops, I'm never late. I know, Lynn. I was wondering. I was like, what is going on with Lynn? She's not here yet, but can't believe you're not getting the notice. I don't know why they do that.
I wonder if she knows what I was talking about her earlier.
Oh?
Remember? About for the
oh yeah, were your ears burning earlier?
Right.
About the meetup on March 8th.
Stuff on the outside of it.
I know it's from when I poured it the other day, but I don't want it on the computer.
Oh, here. All the stuff in here.
Oh.
That's why we have it. Another way I upcycle. Y'all know how much I love Dutch Bros? I have a whole stack of these in the pantry. and I use them specifically for this, like a miniature trash can here, right here.
Tweet Cat said, I'm OCD about being on time. Totally messes me up.
Yeah, I got you. Because the way I was taught, if you're not early, you're late.
But it is perfectly fine here. We're not taking attendance or score or anything. We just want you to be here and be happy.
Well, next week we'll just wait till she arrives and then we'll start.
Uh-oh. And Sharon said, hiya, Zal. Hey, Sharon.
That means on the meetup, you need to tell your chauffeur he's got to be on time.
Brenda, oh no, Brenda said she had a rough week.
Oh, sorry.
Brenda, what happened? Are you feeling better today? Shauna said, okay, just because I'm excited for everyone, the HH road trip countdown is 42 days.
Yes.
Even if I'm secretly sad. I know. I'm
What if we took up a collection to get her a plane ride over here?
But I think you can't get the time off because I kind of asked her.
Yeah.
Because I kind of looked up what flights would be from California to Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a PTO issue, isn't it? It's not so much the flight, it's the time off. Huh?
We sit her on a Greyhound. She likes dogs.
So funny. Brenda said, bless you, thank you. Brenda said, better now I'm off work. Right? That's nice. I know. I felt it today. My coworker, the spice.
I don't know what it was. But speaking of now you're off work, I've always said that work is just for people who don't have hobbies.
Oh, look, here's a bunch. Ooh, that's kind of hot.
Mm-hmm.
What? Work is just for people without hobbies.
That's why it's a 4-letter word.
But anyways,
it's a bad word.
I will say that I am.
We need to watch this towel too.
Well, yeah. I was looking forward to getting off work today.
Me too.
Even though it was a short week for me, and even my work sister was saying that, she was like, "It's been the longest short week in this year." And I was like, "Yeah, it has." And like, it doesn't seem like we were off Monday. I feel like it's been a busy week.
Well, a lot of times too, I find when you get an off day, it actually makes the rest of the week worse. It makes it feel like it's longer.
Yeah.
Because you're working harder to make up for that.
I know.
But my thing is, I don't mind going to work. It's just that 8-hour wait to get off is what bothers me.
Oh no, Rickwood says she can't go either as my cataract surgery is about that time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna miss you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, are we gonna be able to meet up with her on the way though?
No, because where she's at, it's like way out.
Dang it, I'm sorry, Joe.
The closest I think is Nashville, but she said because it's mainly because of that landslide that happened. Then she has to go the long way even to get to Nashville. So it's kind of
off. It's out of the way.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make it inconvenient.
Renee said, "Boss, here, can you keep doing that? There's some big chunks in there." Boss gave me Tuesday off because bridges were iced, but I spent the whole day in horrible low back pelvic pain, peeing blood. Then finally at 3:50 p.m., I gave birth to a little stone named Bertha the Biatch. I love that you named her. So are you fine since Tuesday? Everything is good now? But I'm glad you got that day off. Because that just was like scary, right? I was just concerned for everybody on the roads. Shauna said, I have an iPad now, so I could do those video things from my iPhones. Just one fruity device for me. Laugh out loud. And then Shauna said, I think I'm allergic to snow.
I am too.
Yeah.
My house is, I'll tell you that. I think that's part of my problems too, is it's been so cold.
Yeah, it really has. But we're supposed to almost get to 70 next week. It keeps the weather guide. 1 minute it'll say we're going to get to 70 on Wednesday, and then we'll check it a few hours later. It'll say 69. So we'll find out.
Pull that picture I sent you earlier. What I shot. Because I don't know why, but our weather apps are different on our phones.
It's the same one once you go to hourly.
But what did it show you? It was. And then like
I thought I just said 69. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, I know it's almost a week away. Oh wow, that was 12 minutes fast.
Yeah.
Just do the toothpick and make if you can.
Well, I don't have any toothpicks in here.
Renee said one of our docs said it was impressive. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I took her to work for show and tell. Still waiting to hear back from urologist to see if I need to continue the meds. That was freaking awful. Pop pain. Oh, that does not sound fun at all. Lynette said, we only drip our water if we're going to be gone for a few days. Oh, that makes sense. Now,
we just dripped ours this time so that Renee didn't have to come in my attic.
Man, y'all, we had this house so hot. It was so hot. Like even when we went to bed a couple nights, I was like, it's so hot in this house. We got to turn on the ceiling fan because I'm dying here. So the rest of the house was hot, but.
Oh, I think that's good.
Oh, good.
Here, take that.
Uh-huh.
Shit, never mind.
What?
I don't know where to set it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bring the whole thing over here.
Well, just let it sit there for now.
I'm telling you, I'm poking all three.
They're all clean?
Them. All four of them. See, there's nothing stuck on it.
Yeah. You're good.
That's awesome.
Okay, so here's my sausage. No. Here's my sausage. So I eyeball it, y'all. I'm going to add my heavy cream. And then I've got Parmesan cheese. And do about half of that container. And just keep stirring. And then, do you mind putting a little pepper here? Now, we used hot and spicy sausage. And I feel like it already has plenty of salt. Plus, with the Parmesan cheese, that'll be plenty. So, we don't need to add more, right? So, just keep stirring this. Are you okay?
No. Jesus.
What's wrong, babe?
I almost fell. I don't want to overshare for him, but my direct supervisor also has MS. And he's had it for almost like 12 years or so now, I believe, what he told me.
Wow.
But almost every Friday, I have what we call a one-on-one, just to check in, and almost every time we have a little discussion about all of our issues with our MS, helpful hints how we can help each other, things we find and whatnot. And he says he just had to learn to slow down. He goes, it might take him longer to get places, like you walking around and doing things. He goes, but it's just safer.
Yeah, because I think that is part of your thing is you want to run to get anywhere. Because, like, if me and him go somewhere, I'm, like, way back because I'm
She's all, wait for me, little legs.
Seriously, y'all.
Is this empty or
no? But if you want to add the rest, we can.
Yes. I like it cheesy.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's one less thing in the fridge, too. When you start, for some reason, we keep saving these and trying to reuse them for stuff. It's just getting silly.
What we use. Sharon said, we don't drip our water here, but then again, we made sure to move our water lines interior during the remodel. Oh, that's smart. That's real smart, Sharon. I think also, don't y'all get different types of piping up there? Like we just got, from the last store, we always had, it wasn't copper pipes. What was it? What did we used to have?
Cast iron.
I don't think
No. I'm sorry. PVC.
Did we have PVC?
Yeah, that's what broke.
That is?
Yeah,
okay.
It's just plastic.
I was going to add a little more cream because I want it to be a little runny.
Yeah.
And then when we had it all replaced, we got the PEX, right? Plex?
PEX.
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 We did the PEX one, and I think that helps too. Yeah, and I thought also the advantage with PEX is that it can move.
Yeah.
It's not like with the PVC, it's so hard and rigid that it can't really expand and contract, whereas
when it does expand, it breaks.
Right. Whereas the PEX, it has a little more, it has a little more give. I feel like this needs a little more pepper. I like pepper great. What about y'all? Right? When I was in a play in middle school, that was my line in the play was, needs more pepper.
Wow.
Isn't that the perfect one for me, though? Like, even then, in middle school, they were like, oh, yeah, you're going to be a cook. Because that's the part I got in the play. Nice. I was a cook. And I said, needs more pepper. Hilarious. All right. Oh, yeah.
I'm just worried, though, the biscuits are going to be cold. But if I put it back in the oven, they'll be warm. I mean, they'll be burnt.
Right. Well, it's almost done.
Right.
And then we'll be putting the hot gravy on it.
That's true.
I'm just going to let this... And if the oven's off, you should be fine putting them in there for a few minutes. Okay.
Because really what I need to do is take the other spatula and just scoop those off. Because we made 4. We're only eating 2 tonight, though, right?
Yes.
So I'm saying I can just put them on the plate and bring them over here. That way it'd be a lot easier.
And Sharon said, plus our house is heated.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the house is heated? Like, how is that different than our heater?
I don't know. Actually, explain.
Yeah, what does that mean by our house is heated? Like ours is heated, or is it? I know some areas you have like heated floors and stuff like that. So is that what it is?
Oh yeah, and by the way, Sharon, I'm mad at you. Trying to make extra work for me here at the house, showing off all the little gadgets in your kitchen. I love you, but no.
I mean, it looked like you needed something to do. To be honest,
we already have little. We have gadgets down there right now. We're using them. We're just fine.
What we have is from like Dollar Tree.
Yeah,
and it's clear tubs. That's what we use under our sink.
Yeah,
to hold everything is a tub.
Because you know what we would do? Like I was telling y'all, when I used to install those, we call them STKs.
Not everybody knows what we're talking about.
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
But they're little miniature drawers you put in after the fact. Or I could build them.
They're slide outs, right?
They're not full size drawer boxes. They don't have drawer fronts on them. It's little trays that come in and out. Because they recess inside the cabinet. So your cabinet doors close on them. What I'm saying though is you can build them and just put those racks you already have and just set them down on top of there. We have the little totes inside there right now, right?
Uh-huh.
You build the drawer, put it in there.
Yeah.
And you take that tote and put it in the drawer.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I would do. Brenda F. said, we don't drip our water. It gets down below 0 and has never froze up. Could possibly be different construction. Yeah,
I think so.
That sounds like it. Wow, gets below freezing and you still don't drip. That is so. See, it's just wild. I love it. I love it though.
Are you through with this now?
Yeah, I go back.
I want to put that up. Well, when we're ready though, because I'm gonna get up once. I'm gonna get the biscuits and come back.
Rickwood said, "No, Shelly. It gets turned on and off mostly at night. During the day, we're using the faucets, which keeps the water running. Also, leaving the doors open under the sink so you can hit your shins."
Right?
Yes. Or I was scared that I would forget and I would lean against it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I snap this door off? Yeah, we opened the doors. Thank you, everybody, for all of your wonderful suggestions. We had the doors open. We put a space heater in front of it so that would, keep the heat rolling in those, because I know the pipes are like right against the outside here. Like that's the outside wall. So I was trying to get that going. But during the day, because it was still below freezing, we went ahead and dripped. So we would go all of the faucets and we were just dripping them anyways.
Well, my thing too is, yeah, it costs us a little bit of money, but it's still cheaper than doing all the repairs on the house.
That's true.
So it's, you gotta pick your battles.
Well, yeah. Sharon said, unless we have a power outage, then we would drip. Oh, that makes sense because nothing's being heated, so you got to do it then. Renee said, yes, urology wanted me to take them to verify the type, but I want it back. You're like, you better get Bertha to me.
That's my baby.
That's right. Lynette said, same with the heated house and people showering daily. Oh, there's really no need to worry about frozen pipes. Wow, that is so
different.
Like, I think down here, that's everybody's number one concern.
Yes.
Is frozen pipes. Like, Renee, you're down there. Did that seem your consensus too? That most people, that's what they were concerned about, was having frozen pipes?
Because she's further south than we are. So
yeah. But like here, that's what everybody's like, okay, do this. And people in the subdivision were like, do this so your pipes don't freeze. Okay, I'm going to turn this off so we can then start plating.
Well, if you're taking it off, you would bring the little cutting board and we just get this all together and get it out of here.
Oh, sure.
We don't need it anymore, right?
Right. Should have kept stirring, y'all. Some of the cheese.
We're going to add that to
stick.
it too, right?
Oh.
Or that. Or both.
I figured when you plate.
Yeah.
So it's closer to me.
No, well, it will when I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's so interesting. Renee said. Oh, wait. Okay.
Probably like that, right?
Sure. Renee said, I never drip faucets, but have seen several articles saying not to.
What?
Wow. Because I looked up and I was like, are you supposed to drip cold or the hot ones? And everything I was reading was saying drip the cold faucet because the cold water is apt to freeze first.
Yeah. And also we dripped cold because we didn't want to drain the hot water from the water heater.
Right. But yeah, all of ours said to, and every time, we've had a busted pipe, that's what the plumber said is, well, did you drip it? And then one of them even told me, no, you're not supposed to this time I did just barely drip, but they said, you don't want a barely drip. You want it to have like a steady stream. But when I was reading everything before this, it said to do a drip. So that's interesting. So I used to not do that, but then when I had, I'm trying to think. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3. I think I've had 4 major pipe bursts since I've owned this house. So there was once in the garage, once in the laundry room, the one you had to go to, Renee, and then we had one here. And so ever since that, having busted pipes, I'm like, okay, you got to drip it. But I think it's like a lot of people said, if you don't lose power. And every single time before, we have always lost power. So it's kind of like you have to, right?
What y'all think of that?
Oh, my face is in the way. There it goes. Ooh, that looks good.
It's almost like the size of a hamburger bun.
Right? And I'm just going to open it up.
Oh, here.
What's that for?
To open it up.
Oh, I already did.
All right.
You want to open yours?
Sure.
And then I'm just going to get this gravy.
Oh, you know what? We messed up.
Why?
I told you I was going to fry an egg to go with it because we already had a thing.
Oh.
Well, that's fine. I don't want to put it back. This will be fine.
Okay.
I do want to move that again. I'll get it out of the way. You want to dock mine up and then I'll pull it and move it?
Yeah. I'm going to try to just do half of this because we got the other 2 biscuits. So we'll probably have the other half of this tomorrow or something.
I figured I'd eat all of it for breakfast, but okay.
Yeah, or there you go. Eat it all for breakfast. Is that enough for you, or you want
one
more?
Perfect.
Okay. And then we got our hot sauces here. This is one I think I got in New York called Queen Majesty Scotch Bonnet and Ginger. Really good, y'all. 22 Cat said, I have never in my life let my water dripping. Wow. And I've always lived in cold, snowy Indiana. That's nice. My faucets have always been on inside walls. Wow. I've never had any issues, knock on wood.
All of our pipes are in the wall too.
But inside walls.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, because okay, when I think about it, so our kitchen sink, that's an outside wall.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I could stand there sometimes and feel the cold air.
Right.
Not air, but I can feel that it's cold. The one that broke there, that's because that goes at the corner there of the house. What's that called? The eave or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That was one that Renee had to go struggling to get to. And then our master bath, the sink there, that's an outside wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now the shower, that one, I guess that's considered inside, right? The shower piping, because that's in the middle.
Yeah.
So that one's inside.
Oh, so good.
But and then our washer and dryer are also, that's an outside wall as well. It's so interesting, right, y'all? Shauna said, I'm kind of excited tomorrow. I get to go to a one-day scrapbook crop. It's been so freaking long since I got to be creative. Wow. Oh, that'll be so good for you, Shauna. I know if you're a creative person, you need that outlet, right? That'll do wonders for your mental health. What, babe?
This is really good.
Do you need the hot sauce?
Yeah. What is this one again, though?
That's the Scotch bonnet and ginger.
What is a plate around here without hot sauce?
I mean, that'll be so nice. Shauna said, I'm so happy I wrangled Craig into putting stuff in my car. Oh, that's good.
Awesome.
1 second. Oh, I love this one. Probably finish it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shauna said, my friend will help me tomorrow for the way home. Aw, taking out is easier for me. I have gravity on my side, right? Oh, that's so nice. That's so great. You have so many wonderful friends and family that you live near. Hey, Sherry. She said, hey, y'all, concerning Shelly's dripping water question, here in Leavenworth, Kansas, we drip water in the single digits overnight. Well, see, that's good. Now, they told us under 32. And even a couple of the weather channels here said that. But they didn't say overnight. And me just being scared, I was like, I would just drip it all day.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. And I guess it's different too, because a lot of you, when you get snow, you're getting it for like a month or so, or weeks at least. Whereas us, like, it's done now. We're back, and yeah, this should be our winter for the year, was the 3 days. And even yesterday, we didn't even drip the water, but just barely overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be concerned.
Just like right before we went to bed.
Mm-hmm. Renee said, I still have 8 others. Oh my God. 5 small in left kidney and 3 small in right kidney, but the big one was already in the utero traveling. Pain occurs when it moves, right? Doc at work said it may have gotten broken. Oh
wow.
Oh. Sharon said, absolutely. That's why I can't do the member. Aw, because you're doing the scrapbook. Aw. Well, we'll be thinking about you, Shauna. But definitely important for you to do that. Renee said, down as it traveled and with sub-added intake of lime juice to adjust the alkalinity. Wow. Shauna said, did anyone in here try the no-bake cookie keto brick and like it?
Was that the one we got?
No, we got the fudgy one.
That's
they were
really
sold out
good.
of that one. The fudge one, though, oh my goodness.
It's way good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's very difficult for me not to eat the whole one in one sitting. It's that good, y'all.
But it is pretty rich because last night you were like, or the other night you were like, I was going to eat this whole brick right after dinner. And I was like, I don't think you need to eat the whole thing. And he took like, I think 2 or 3 bites and they were like, okay, I can't do it anymore. Because it is very rich and very filling.
Way good.
Oh, recommend the Primal Fudge. That's what we got. She said she's enjoyed it too, but she hasn't made anything with it.
Me either. I'm just eating it out as a brick.
Renee said, yeah, shot it. They said likely something I can thank my dad for, but will likely be a stoner for life.
Wow.
You know, he just, it's the gift that he just keeps giving to you, right? Brenda F said, I watched that 40-year-old guy. He showed cutting on one end off sausage roll, twisting it, pops right out. It works.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we'll have to try that next time.
I've never done it that way.
Mm-mm.
I usually take a knife and cut it long ways and scoop it out.
Okay. Because we're going to be making more balls, I think, on Sunday.
I've seen some people take that same link or a log of it and slice that and make it into patties.
Yeah, but I don't like slicing plastic into the meat either.
Right.
Shada said, don't you have a meat chopper utensil?
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's a little hard to clean, to keep it clean. Sidoma, hey.
Hello.
She goes, hi, how do you keep your pampered chef pan so well seasoned? It must cook so well. Well, welcome to the Horde.
Well, part of the way we do it is we use it all the time. For those about almost everything.
Yeah, we do use it, and then I mostly store it in the oven. So after I've used it, and then all I do is, you know, with Pampered Chef, you get those little scrapers. Now, I didn't use it this time because we just made this the other day. So I just left it on there. But like tonight, when we clean up, I'll just use the scraper and I just scrape off the chunks. I kind of treat it like I do cast iron. So I'll just scrape the chunks off and that's it. And so I know some people that bothers them, but it like thanks to like these biscuits, they didn't stick at all, right? I don't have to spray more stuff. It works perfect. Great question. Rosemary's here. Hey.
Howdy.
Said, you guys look amazing.
Oh,
try to
you.
stay warm. God bless you and all you do. Oh, thank you. We are definitely warm now. Thanks for asking. This, I mean, it was good, but again, the main thing is we never lost power. And I feel like we kept the house, like we were, one day, I think it was Tuesday, we had the house set at 76 because that's when it got the lowest, like below 20 degrees. And I know some of you are like, 20, that's like warm, but not here. And it was just so warm in the house though. So it's, now I'm trying to get adjusted back to how, like when I wasn't using the heater. So probably tonight I'll just turn the heater back off because it's supposed to be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s at least for the next week. So, and even getting maybe to 70 on next Wednesday or Thursday. So we don't need the heater anymore. 2ATQ Cat said, "Oh, no worries. I'll definitely be on time, probably early when you're up here at Indy. I'm not wasting even a minute." Aw, that's so sweet.
Speaking of, when you get the feelers out, announcements and everything for everybody about the spice blends and everything, if they want to order it, I don't know because I'm still struggling. Please, I know it's your feet in your face. I'm sorry.
So yes, on our Facebook group, I posted the different spice blends that we're going to make and the hot sauce. So if you're interested in any of those, I also have our email address. So please email us. You don't have to pay right now. You can pay at the meetup if that's easier for you. But just, let us know what you would like. And then we'll make sure that we have that set aside. Otherwise, we're just going to have very limited numbers when we show up for actually sale at the event. It'll be limited, kind of first come, first serve. But if you email us ahead of time, we will. Yeah, we'll set it aside. My lady Laugh a Lot. Hey, Andy.
She says she's gonna be there too. That's awesome.
Yeah. Hi, all. Editing the video for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I can listen to you guys as well. Well, thank you.
I'm so excited we get to finally meet her in person.
I know.
Because we finally. I know it sounds probably weird, but we finally saw the list so far. Who all is going to be attending?
Yeah.
Our co-host was the one who's been handling that for us. She we finally badgered her enough to give it to us.
So thank you, Matreya. She put that list together. So yeah, I'm so excited. So Andy, I can't wait to meet you as well in person. That'll be so much fun.
What's your wife's name? Is it Susan? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, because it says that both of y'all are signed up, so I'm happy to. I'm excited to meet both of y'all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'd be so much fun.
Yes.
Sean's here. Hey Sean.
Yeah, because he's gonna be there too.
I know. He said, "Good evening, everyone. Sean and Shell will be there."
Yes.
In fact, they're coming Thursday, y'all. 42 days. Yes. We are so freaking excited. We're just like yesterday, I was working on our itinerary a little more.
Fine tuning it a little bit. What's up, buddy? He's just laying out there in the doorway.
I was putting on there because with the dogs and Heath, we'll need to make several.
You won't ever have to go, huh?
Not that much.
Yes, that's the thing, y'all. With my condition, I do have. I need extra time for the bathroom because, in fact, at work. They actually got me a extra. I had to get my doctor to write a letter in. I needed to submit another one because I think I just talked to him about it today. It expires on March 14th, I think.
Oh.
So I need to get another copy sent, and they gave me an extra break every day. It's kind of tricky though about it though because it's weird. Because normally I'm booked. We already have technically 3 breaks every day. We get 2 15-minute breaks and 1 hour break for our lunch. And it's kind of wild, too, because even in training, the lady that was doing the training told us what she does a lot of times is she just takes an hour and a half lunch and takes a nap the whole time. And then goes back to work. What I have been known to do sometimes is I'll sit at my desk, set my alarm for 13 minutes, and take an alarm. Take a nap right there, sitting there. And then the alarm goes off, and it gives me time to log back into all my stuff because also the computer turns itself off. Not turns off, but the screensaver, everything comes on when you go to break. I hate that. Yeah, and I got to log back into everything. It's really bad too because my password has to be 13 characters long plus a special character plus what do you call it? Capital. So it's just all these kind of ins and outs on that. And I think every 30 days or whatever, I have to change it. So it's always fun.
Sorry, when you get up, I had a water and one of my kombuchas.
Oh, okay. You want both of them?
Yeah.
All right, give me just a second. I need to go find something to snack on.
But how are you doing, Sean? I've been loving your post with all the snow-related posts, and I like the one today. It was a meme, and it said, "I'm not going to go outside until the temperature is older than I am." And I was like, oh, and then I thought of my age and I was like, well, that would be a decent temperature. That seems like a good rule to live by, right? And there's Mighty Healthy Michelle.
Howdy.
Hey, and she said, hi, everyone. How are you doing? My water.
What? You know what I think we need to do tonight, though? It's been a long time since we've done it.
Oh,
What?
you're going to make it?
I don't know how. That's why I need your help. I've never done it. Ever.
I hope we have enough heavy cream left.
Oh. Okay, never mind. I guess we're not doing it then.
Meyer lemonade kombucha. I love this stuff. It's so good. Shadi said, by the way, I made the KC sausage balls this week and used the apple pie. Oh my God, so yummy. That sounds amazing.
All right, I'm going to go to my office to get my dessert. I'll be right back.
So good. Sharon said, we have PVC pipes also. Well, wow, that's good. But it's also because I guess yours are inside. So that's really helpful. Let's see here. Renee said, love extra coarse cracked pepper in that gravy. Isn't that so good? The parrot head gravy. It's so good, y'all. And it's so filling. I mean, oh my gosh. I am so full. One biscuit, and I mean, I did put an awful amount of sausage gravy on it. But it's so good.
I was actually thinking about maybe even making a link of sausage to go with it. But I was like, no, I need to save room for my desserts. What I'm eating right now is the keto brick. What is this one?
Oh, the nootropic.
Yeah.
Brenda F said, you need an electric pepper grinder.
We actually have one.
Oh, I think so.
We have it somewhere. Somebhere. I think Renee actually gave it to us.
Did you, Renee?
I think so. It's like a little small. It's like looks almost like one of those electronic cigarettes.
Oh, and you just kind of push it at the top.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like this little guy. Isn't he cute? But yeah, those when people have the electric grinders, I'm like, ooh, you're so fancy.
Will you do me a favor though? Hand me the Kleenexes, please. The whole box.
Oh, the whole box.
Thank you.
Tweet Q Cat said, Academy Award for Shelley. Need more pepper. I know, right? I definitely needed an Oscar for that. When I was like, I don't know, how old are you in middle school? I guess I was like 12 or 13. I'm like, needs more pepper. Crazy. But at least I enjoyed it. I loved theater. Did you like theater?
I loved it. That's how I'm a thespian.
Oh, but you were behind the scenes theater.
Yes and no.
I was out front.
That was high school.
Oh.
Not elementary school, but middle school, junior high.
Oh yeah.
I was in two different classes.
Oh.
That were theater. One actually. I'm sorry, it was elementary school too. We had it was Channel 1, what the thing was called. They had their own production show. They did television show. They did for the school only. And several of us were either behind the scenes, working the camera and the soundboard and all that, or they were the on set like anchors. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was pretty cool. I did that. And then I also did a class, an acting class in an advertising class in junior high, and part of the one of the semesters, whatever we had to do an actual television show and write and produce and star in our own commercial.
Oh, that's cute.
Mine, the product I came up with was Wolf Brand chili, not Wolf Brand, but it was based on that. It was Tiger Roar, is what I called it. Well, I was like a kid,
That is cute. No, I love it. You're so cute. That's so nice. I don't remember my school system ever doing anything like that. They put out daily. It was kind of like the daily, like news channel. Mm-hmm. And so that's what some of the people who were wanting to be like in either theater or what was the other? Oh, you got some on your lip, Dave.
Theater?
No, I'm trying to think. I guess they were in something else. Then they could participate in that if they wanted. So you would have the behind the scenes people. I guess tech class or something.
Yeah, that's what I was in. I was in tech theater.
Okay.
Because what we did, we built the sets. We actually put together the props. We actually, because it was cool too, because I loved it too, because it was a closed campus. But there was a handful of us, 2 or 3 guys, and then my buddy Brian, my cousin Steven. We were all in the same class together. We all had our own little hall pass that we carried in our wallet at all times when we went to school. But with that, we were able to leave campus because we had to go get stuff for the set. For the show. But also, it was pretty awesome. Anybody in the school that wanted to do stuff in the auditorium, the choir, speech, or whoever, a debate team, anything like that, had to do any kind of a presentation on the stage, had to come to us. And we had to go and work the sound and light board for them.
That's really
And it's really awesome too, because the teacher, he was amazing. He actually helped design the auditorium.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because it was pretty cool too. Because in fact, we're supposed to technically eat lunch in the lunchroom, in the cafeteria, but I hated it. So a bunch of us, me and Brian mainly, he can tell you stories about it too. We would sit up in the sound booth for our lunch, because right after lunch we would have our class. So why not just go in there and hang out, and we're ready to go. But we'd sit there and play cards while we're eating. Literally, it would be we'd play a round of spades and then a round of hearts, and back and forth like that. So 1 minute he's my partner, next minute I'm playing against him.
Wow! Oh no! Sean said our pipes in our insulated well house froze on Thursday. We had to go out there with a hair dryer and thaw them out. It took a couple of hours, so I missed a day of work. Sean,
so link that thing we put on ours. Our water heater, see if it'll help him.
Well, he said it's insulated.
Oh, well, then I don't know. Maybe help a little.
What is a well house? Do you know what that is?
Well, I used to get locked in one all the time as a kid. Your well is in a house instead of just being out in the middle of the yard. It's in a house.
The well for what?
The water well.
Oh.
You remember?
Oh no, I've never
heard
heard
down in
of...
Salvin. Down south, that's where all the cow folk live and everything.
All the cow folk.
Well, like everybody I knew had a cow farm, or at least were surrounded by it.
Or a ranch.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't want to go to I don't need to go to the livestock show. I grew up there.
Right.
I don't need to go see that.
So,
but it was always hot in there too during the summer, and that was my punishment. Sometimes my parents would stick me in there.
Oh my gosh,
right.
That sounds horrible. Why would you do that?
Oh yeah, I come from good kinfolk.
Well, okay. See, I don't know this stuff because growing up, I grew up. Yeah, I very.
Your parents loved you.
Well, that's debatable. But anyways, I grew up in a very suburban area. So the water that's here is at a facility and it gives water to this like whole area here. We're in a certain water district. So I don't have a well house or anything out here.
Mm-hmm.
They've told us before that if your pipes do freeze, there is a box out in the front that you go and turn the water off.
Water main, yeah.
The main there. And because there was something that happened because if there's a water leak, depending on if it's after the main, then it's our responsibility. But if it's before,
then it's the cities.
And one time, go ahead. One time there was like obviously a water leaking. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it's not on our side. Thankfully, when the guy came from the water department, he was like, no, it's on us. I was like, yes. Because that just sucks. And ours we share with a neighbor. So, we're both in that box. But oh goodness. Tweet to Q Cat said, well, better safe than sorry for you and Heath on those pipes. I'm saying that is not a fun experience. You're not you're just not built for the cold weather like most of us are. We were smart about all that planning. Right. And isn't that so weird to me, depending on where you are at, like not just in the US, like worldwide, how things are so different just depending on the region. Because where our houses are usually built for heat, like it's going to be hot, so we got to have where the houses stay cool
and central air.
Yeah, and central air and
Remember,
stuff.
a lot of the ones up in the north don't always have central air because they don't need it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so ours is built on that, and a lot of like older homes, they actually have the windows and doors are designed a certain way so air flows through the house. Pre-air conditioning, that's how you got air conditioning. Especially I know in Louisiana, a lot of the houses, they're called like shotgun because you would literally open the front door and the back door so air would flow through the house.
I remember stories too growing up. My dad had an uncle. He's really old.
Oh yeah.
He never grew up with air conditioning. He finally got a house that had one. He never used it though, and 90% of the time he slept out on the porch. He just preferred it. It was cooler for him. It's just the way he grew up, and that's what he's used to.
That's true. And I've heard people say that. They're like, living down here, I'm so acclimated. And I'm like, I've lived here, and I'm still not acclimated. I don't think I want to be acclimated.
Like one of my favorite stories, too, though, is how hot it gets down here sometimes. I remember playing a video game, Super Mario Brothers 3. There's a level where the sun is actually chasing Mario, trying to kill him. I think that's what it's like living in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing the asphalt walking through there. Well, you look at it, it looks like it's melting.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, that's
and you walk outside and you feel like you're melting.
I know. Ugh. I don't get it, but I was really good friends with this lady a few jobs ago, my big corporate job, and she grew up in Pennsylvania, but then like her and her husband, like they moved here, I guess, before they had kids and everything. So probably in their 20s, right? And she loved it. She would eat outside
that's the one.
To have her lunch every day. And I'm like, oh, that is like the worst thing I could ever think of is to sit outside in July and August eating my lunch.
What?
Like, and when there's a perfectly good air conditioned building.
I think it's rude to the manufacturers of the AC if you don't use it. Well, I told you too, that one buddy of mine, him and his wife were trying to set me up with some friend of hers. And what they imagined to do was years ago. This is his first wife. He's not even with anymore. They wanted to go hang out on the beach. It's like, no, I'm not going to go just sit in a dirt pile. That's just silly to me.
See,
no.
similar hates. Yes. I was telling my work sister, she's going through some relationship stuff, and she was like, I just don't think we have anything in common. And I was like, you know what, girl? It ain't your similarities. It's you got to have similar hates.
You got to go look. If y'all have never heard that story before, go Google or even YouTube. Look up Jay Moore, Jaymohr is his name. Jay Moore, similar hates. That is so us.
We saw the whole special.
Yeah. He's hilarious.
He's hilarious, y'all. Didn't we see him in concert?
Oh, yeah, it's because of that.
And I'm like, you just gotta have similar hates. And I was like, Heath and I, we hate camping.
Yes.
We hate beaches. We hate like traffic. And I'm like, we maybe don't always have a lot of similarities, but we could sure sit and complain about and be like, oh, I would never do that. I hate that, right?
Uh-huh. Oh, you know what we can be telling too though?
Huh?
What we've what's her name? Posted about it today. I tagged you in it.
Oh yeah. I was here. Let me read a couple more.
Sonia,
I feel like I'm really
name?
behind. Yeah, Sonia, Visual Keto.
Yeah.
Brenda F said, I seen Southern Keto use those baby corn cobs to make soup. I'm going to get some.
Okay.
Oh, how interesting. I've heard that those are good.
Oh, okay.
Brenda F said, pretty. And Rosemary said, awesome.
Speaking of the heat, I feel it right now. It's just getting a little hot.
Yeah, I know. We should turn off.
It's the
Yeah, Shauna said, nice looking biscuit. Thank you.
Did we turn off?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
All right. I'll get up in a second and do it.
Well, you'll have to go potty soon.
Yeah. Don't jinx
Yeah,
it.
it's in the 40s.
Okay.
I think we're fine. That's not hot to me.
Yeah, 'cause I think the house is well.
Or just
insulated.
turn it down to like 64
Okay.
if you want.
Well, usually I've
64.
been turning just to 63, but okay.
Oh, it's 63 then.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's even better. Let's see here. Oh, Renee said, lovely cat head. Thank you. Kendra's here.
Yeah.
Hey, she said,
Howdy,
good
howdy.
evening. How you doing, Kendra?
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Rickwood said, what's a biscuit with that gravy?
Right? Does that look like a hamburger bun, though?
No, because I put so
I
much
know.
gravy.
I know.
I that's one of my beefs is when I've gone out to
Yep.
eat and then you order biscuits
We
and
always
gravy.
have to order extra gravy.
Yeah, because I always felt like I never got enough gravy. That was my favorite part. So that's why I always prefer making it at home.
Oh, even when we go out to eat, we got the sweet potato, we got it loaded. Or even the steaks. What do we tell them to though?
Oh,
I guess more butter.
Yeah, more
Double,
butter.
And they brought us like 6 extra butters, like just 3 apiece.
Yeah. But
And
yeah, I've always been like, I want a lot. I've always been that way, I think, with sauces or gravies in generals. Because even before, like even now, if I make a spaghetti, whatever noodle I'm choosing to put the spaghetti sauce on, it's mostly sauce. That's why truly there have been times where I'm like, I don't even want any faux noodle. Just give me a bowl of the sauce, a spoon, and put some cheese on there, and I'm good. And that's kind of how I feel about the gravy. Like I'll just eat that like a soup.
Remember, that's why I used to do. Y'all pre-keto. You can ask her how many bags of tortilla chips do we go through a week? Seriously, I love chips and salsa. It's one of my favorite things to eat, honestly. Because there's even memes floating around. Well, that's how Texans judge a Mexican restaurant is by their chips and salsa.
That's true.
My favorite thing to do, though, once you get down to the bag where it gets small, too big. I mean, the chips are too small to actually dip. I would come up, throw them in a bowl, pour the sauce on, and eat it like a soup.
Yeah, you did.
I ain't wasting it.
You don't like what I put there.
Well, the only reason I don't because I can't see.
Sharon said, steady stream of water is not going to freeze.
Yes.
Municipal water is above freezing coming into your home. Thus, why they say to have it flowing.
See?
Oh,
I told you.
that makes sense. So
I've always done it.
Instead of having the little drip, just a really slow, steady stream. And then they also said on the local channels here that each section of your home, you should have it dripping. So we just turned all of them on.
That's what I
Every faucet.
That's why I've always done it.
Yeah.
And she always give me a side eye look like, oh no.
Yeah, but thank you, Sharon, for explaining that. You're so smart.
There's
you know
a method
everything.
to the madness. I don't always know the method, but I know what it is.
But you sure know the madness.
Yes.
Shad said, we missed it. What are the biscuits made with? Oh, I'm sorry.
Aww.
It was a pork rind crumb. So I used pork rinds as the base. I do add some coconut flour because those can get really greasy. And then I added baking powder, baking soda, seasoning, and I also added some Gouda cheese. Now that's optional, but I mean, is it though? And just mix that together, and then I added heavy cream, and I find I do like it with eggs as well.
What is the workaround if you have somebody like Renee's friend who's allergic to coconuts? What would you use instead?
Ooh. That's a good question.
Something I have to work on? You don't know right away.
I don't know offhand.
Right.
Sorry. I guess, he might be able to have like almond flour.
All right. That's true.
So that might work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe just don't. I don't know. Rickwood said, we had to drip faucets in my grandfather's house. It was built without much insulation and only a kerosene stove to keep it warm. That's my goodness. That's almost like really cold. Thank you, Renee. Water. I know. Brenda F said we normally put red pepper flakes in our gravy.
Yes,
Oh, that
yes,
would be
that's
good
good too.
too. I'm a stoner said yum.
And you know what though? Another thing, that's another Renee special. She's the one that taught us how to make that gravy.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, that's why we call it parrot head gravy.
Yes.
If you didn't know, because Renee used to be, instead of a stoner, she used to be a parrot head.
Yeah.
So that's why we
But
called
she graduated, I guess.
I guess. That's why we call it parrot head gravy. Because it's her recipe.
She taught us that.
22 Cute Cat said, I need to make those biscuits. I love it because I knew they wouldn't have any almond flour in them if you were making them. Everyone in the world seems to use almond flour.
That's what I'm saying.
Except Heath and I. I know. And I like it better, honestly, because the almond flour, y'all, even though I'm a lot allergic to it, when you start using so many things with almond flour in a day, it always upset my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like it also kind of inflamed me because you just can't have tons of almonds all throughout the day, you know? Whereas the pork rind crumbs work better. And I feel like
it's cheaper too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because pork rinds are fatty, you end up not having to eat as much.
Right.
Like we only ate a biscuit each. I don't think that would ever be possible otherwise. Because I feel like I always did 2, 3, or 4 biscuits.
Sometimes 6.
Well, for you.
But no, this is perfect too, though, because the whole thing with keto is high fat, low carb.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But that's what I mean. It's like so versus the almond flour, I feel like when you're using the pork rind crumb, you're going to fill up quicker on it. But you should make it, Lynn. And yeah, Shauna doesn't like to use almond flour either. Yeah, because didn't you say you had the same things I was getting? 22 Cat said, I do love almond flour, but the oxalates in it I just can't have. So many great recipes I can no longer make. But honestly,
you can. Because seriously, when you do the pork panko instead, it's a 1-to-1 switch.
Yeah.
And it works perfect.
And you see all of our recipes. So I bet any recipe you love that used almond flour, try it with the pork panko.
And try, yeah.
And I bet it will be just as good.
And I find it's for me anyways, I think the best way to do it is when we set up the food processor, I shred a whole big old block of cheese. Get out as much as I can. There's always a few little remnants I can't get anymore. But right behind that is when I shred and I make our panko. And it's that cheese gets mixed into it. Who cares? It's gonna cook up anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And that it gets all cleaned up in there, and it gets all the pieces of that cheese out. And I do that every single time I shred cheese.
Brenda said, I'd like more of that winter spice.
Okay.
Oh,
Put it
okay.
Down. Make a list.
Well, no, email me.
Yeah,
email me. That's better because this isn't the main computer I do work on. So please email HungryHeath and let me know, Brenda.
Yeah, please.
So I can put that on there.
When are we going to see her?
Yeah.
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
But yes, I'm so glad to hear that because the winter spice I created in 23. And it was just something I was like, do it for myself. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll send this out and see what everybody thinks. So thank you for telling me that you enjoyed that. Andy said, thank you. Yes, it's Susan. We're really excited to come out and visit with everyone. Oh, that'll be awesome.
You know what we need to do too? But I don't know if she can do it because we're busy. She's busy. We need stickers to hand out folks too.
Oh, yeah. Sharon said, be sure to allow extra time for Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati. I thought we were skipping that.
Yeah, but hey.
Are we going like one of the days, like Thursday or Friday?
Is that the same day we're going out to dinner with everybody? Is that the hot pot thing? Is that what the place is called?
K-Pot.
K-Pot, okay.
Yeah, see, Shauna says she usually uses pork panko and coconut flour. Rakewood said, I feel so sorry for you, Heath, on your passwords. Laugh out loud. There's sarcasm in there.
I know. First world problems.
We had to have 15 characters that changed every 30 days with no repeats. When I was security officer, I was always helping people with passwords. Well, yeah.
See, I thought it was going to be clever and make the same word, just change a number in it every time. But they started rejecting that too.
Oh, really? No, mine worked. Now, what I had to do on mine, I noticed when I first started out, I would have the number at the end, and that worked. But then I don't know, whenever I had to change it a few months ago, it wouldn't allow that, and now I put the number first and then the word.
All right.
Yeah, but I've seen now that a lot of them suggest having phrases.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. That's what I'm having now.
Yeah, instead of a word that you're
It's
doing,
like
it should be a phrase with a number and a character.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Keto Simple's here.
Hey, we were just talking about you.
He said, "Hey, folks, happy Friday!"
Howdy. I'm so happy to see all y'all. I'm getting so excited.
42 days.
It's like almost every day we pull up the list and start trying to fine tune everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was saying that earlier. Yeah. What I was working on was putting Loves. A lot of Loves gas stations have dog parks. Mm-hmm. Now they vary in size and I guess what all's included, right? Because I've been to some where they actually have like an agility course and stuff, and then some where it's just a roped off basically area. But sorry. So I was putting on our driving list, several Loves along the way because that really is convenient. Yes. We could take the dogs and then also use the restroom for us.
And fill up. Well, we can unfill and refill.
Yeah, exactly, as needed.
And it worked. They call it a Lilo, liquid in, liquid out.
Renee said, "Nope, not me on the pepper grinder."
Oh, yeah. Was it you? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Go? It wasn't there too, though, I thought. Mm-hmm. It's floating around the kitchen somewhere.
Miss K is here. Hey, howdy. Hello, everyone. What's up? Sean said, "This is our first time having a well. Oh, no. It's nice because we don't have to pay a water or sewage bill. Oh, but it's a pain in the butt when we lose power or our pipes freeze."
See, this is what it's up to, because like I was telling you, I grew up on well water. Remember, that's what Mama and Granddaddy had too, though.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. But, because when we got married, my grandfather was already passed. And they lived like almost an hour and a half south of us, so we rarely went down there. And you didn't get time to. And she didn't like driving up here, so.
Yeah.
But anyways, they always had well water too. Growing up at several of my places I lived with, folks and stuff visited had well water down south. I hated the way it tastes if I did drink a glass of water. But I loved when you made iced tea with it.
Huh. You know what? I dated a guy in Ohio, actually, y'all. And I went up and visited him. And that's right. He had like a well on his property. And, but it wasn't like I always thought of them like where it's around and then it has the little bucket you would then roll into it.
TV,
yeah.
In the stories.
But no, it looked different than that. But he would have to add sulfur to it. And then if he didn't, because he'd be like, "Oh, I just don't want to deal with it," or he'd let it go longer than you're supposed to, and it would really start to stink. And it was, I don't know if it was the water tasted different or it was like the
I think it did. Anyways.
The smell kind of overrode what you thought it actually tasted like.
Down there too. My buddy Brian lived down there.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if it's his house or his neighbor's, but they have their sprinkler system hooked up to the well. But it's also where their sewage goes out. So they use that to water the yard. So every once in a while, if it's the wrong time of the day, you can smell it. I don't like that either. I'm so glad we live in the city. Like I said, I was too country before.
Yeah, that's kind of When I was dating him, I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty country."
Yep.
I was like, I don't know if I get used to this. I was like so in awe of everything. I was like, this is so different.
Yep, that's old school.
And they had a garden, and then he would have to watch out for the deer because they would always come and either trample or tear up the garden. And I was just like, I did not know people still existed this way. Remember, I was young, y'all. I was in my 20s.
Yep, that stuff you read about.
I know. I was like, what?
What is it? Little House on the Prairie kind of stuff.
Right. Sharon said, climate patterns are changing. Homes built 2 decades ago may not be energy efficient now.
Exactly.
You have to adapt as needed.
Yep, because like that's our house. It's
Yeah.
old. This house is as old as I am.
Yeah.
I think it was a year, like I
It
was,
was built the
76.
same
It was, I
year.
thought it was 77.
Oh, maybe it was.
So it's as old as you, right? So
No, it's older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but and that just goes to show too, y'all,
Developments.
the insulation
Yep.
we got last year.
Yep.
Like that, I feel like the money was so cheap compared to what it has ended up saving me in just a year's time.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
When you think about it, because I feel like that's why the house was so warm, and I think that also protected the pipes,
Mm-hmm.
is because that insulation is so good. And then
bad we didn't do it sooner.
I know, like how stupid were we not to ever do that?
It was almost like we're first time home buyers or something.
I know, it does feel that. Well, I feel like I kind of was, because like now I listen to all these finance channels and they're talking about, all the things for first time home buyers. I was like, when I bought my house, there was nobody, like literally nobody explained any of it to me. It was just, hey, my mom was just kind of like, you want to buy the house? And I was like, oh, okay. Because she really wanted either my brother or I to get the house. And I said, okay, I'll buy it. And that's just it. Nobody explained anything to me. Nobody explained. She was just like, yeah, it's a mortgage. You'll get a mortgage and you just pay it. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know anything about like, how to shop for interest rates. None of that, y'all. None of that. I went like, isn't that the most stupid decision ever?
Well,
like, who does that?
Live and learn.
Who does that? But I did that. I was young and I was dumb and nobody explained anything to me at all. And so here we are. So now I hear all this and I'm like, gosh, so much education now with everything going into it and the things to look for. Like Sharon said, with the house codes, like, hey, if you're buying a house, hey, when was the last time the pipes were updated? What's the insulation like?
One thing it might sound silly, but I was kind of mad at her mom for doing this. Because if I'm remembering correctly, anyways, originally wasn't the house set up for having a gas stove and a gas oven?
No.
It was all electric from the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I think what you're remembering is I heard from one of the neighbors I speak to who bought the house when, original. She said at the time that the house was originally built, the homeowner could choose at that time if they wanted gas or not. But my parents were not the original owner. They bought it like a year or by that point the house was already set up.
Because I would honestly kind of prefer to having a gas stove.
Well, yeah, I would too. All electric.
Yeah, the whole house is all electric.
Everything.
Because I know it probably goes without saying, but yeah, if we lose power, I can still cook.
I know. Well, and then it was weird to me, like as an adult, when I would hear people say, oh yeah, my electric bill's only this, but then with my gas bill, and I'm like, a gas bill? What do you mean a gas bill? And it's like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, so when I'm telling you, well, my electric bill's $200 and you're going, wow, that seems high. I only pay $97.
Because you're apples and oranges.
Right. But then you have also a $90 or $120 gas bill. It's like, oh, I don't have any gas bill.
Because I even have some of my customers, they have gas dryers.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is really wild to me too. I've lost count of how many people call up and tell me, hey, I bought the wrong dryer. I got electric and I need gas. I'm like, how do you not know what's in your house? I don't understand.
Well, if it was probably somebody like me when I first got this house, there's so much information out there now. I feel like when I got the house, I was just, here, you're buying the house. That was it. Nobody told me anything. Basically, I didn't know anything about owning a home, like at all.
I guess it was easier for me because my parents, uncles, and all that stuff all worked in construction of some sort or another.
That makes sense. Yeah, not mine.
Like I said, 3rd generation cabinet maker.
Right.
And then my stepdaddy was an equipment operator, so he's still dealing with that type of stuff, construction. So.
Right. And see, I grew up in the house,
yeah.
and then when I moved out, I always stayed in apartments.
Right.
So they took care of everything. If something was wrong, you just called and they took care of it. So I had no idea about.
No, they make people for that.
Right. I didn't know about maintenance or upkeep. I didn't have to do that because you had an apartment. They would take care of all of that. So, yeah. Woo. Shauna said, come on with your thumbs up, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shauna. Sean said, instead of wasting away in Margaritaville, you could be wasted away in Biscuitville with parrot head gravy.
Nice.
Oh, there we go. That's the song
awesome.
we need.
Yes.
Sharon said, okay, folks, time for meds in bed. Good night, all. Good night, Sharon.
Where'd I put? Oh, there it is.
You got to take your medicine soon.
Yeah, my evening meds.
And she said, nope, John Little Jim's is on the way from Louisville. It's a backtrack. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think we were going to skip it.
Yeah. But I thought we wanted to go with her, though.
But she said, no, that would be a backtrack.
Okay, that's fine.
She's like, it ain't worth driving.
Okay, that's cool then, yeah. Well, my thing is, too, we've never been, so we're not missing anything.
Yeah.
Because our main thing is, we don't really, honestly, at least for me, I don't care about the attraction so much. I want to hang out with everybody. That's what I really want to do.
Sean said, we use passphrases at work. They're much easier to remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to do now, too.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think one of my banks, that's what they started using. I was like, this is so much better.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't we ever think of that to begin with?
If you do it right, all your different accounts you go into, you can make a whole novel complete in the morning.
Then you just have to remember, okay, what were you chapter 1 or chapter 2?
Okay. Do me a favor though, right there. That'll be Hemo pills.
This one?
Yeah. That's the evening one now. Oh,
sorry. Mary T's here.
Hey.
She said, hi everyone. Late to the party. I was very involved in making buffalo wings after Triple B and E. They are so good. How did everyone make out in the big freeze? It's -17 Celsius, about 2 degrees Fahrenheit, but super sunny.
Awesome.
Wow, we did fine. Thanks, Mary T, for asking. I think so far Sean was the only one that had issues, and it was in his well house. Dwayne Q Cat said, don't feel bad at all, Shelly. I bought my first house by myself and in my 20s. I knew nothing, made a few mistakes. Oops. Wow, that's so great. Yeah, I knew nothing, right? Like I look back on it and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, well, I have to say, I was with someone that I thought we were we were never engaged. Were we engaged? I don't think so. But anyways, and we did start doing house shopping. Are you mad? Or are you just playing?
I'm not allowed to be.
We were house shopping. So we'd started looking, but even then, we were just like, oh, what would the house note be? Like, we didn't even know how to figure out how much of a home. We were just like, I guess this is so stupid. We were just like, let's go house shopping and just looked at whatever areas we thought were nice. We didn't even know what we could afford. We're just like, wow, this is really nice. This is what we want. And I'm like, we don't even make anything to buy these houses in the woodlands. That's where we were looking.
You can't even afford a tent to sleep in the yard.
I know, but we're all like, and then the realtors would show us around. We're all like, yeah, this is nice. Oh, wow. Didn't even do it.
He's like, the realtor's like, thanks for wasting my time.
I know, right? Well, a lot of them were like, open houses, or you just call and schedule to see it. We didn't have a realtor. We just would go and whoever it was that you had to call.
Right.
But yeah, that was it. And then
stage the house and everything.
Right. And then when my mom was like, hey, your brother doesn't want the house, so do you want it? I think you should get it because I really want one of my children to buy it. And I was like, okay, I guess so. And then to figure out how much, I could get the mortgage. And then she was like, well, it'll help because then you won't have to pay realtor fees. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I don't even know what I did, y'all. I have no idea. I just remember going in and signing like a butt ton of paper. And my stepdad was there, and then he was signing too, because basically, they wrote the check to him and for the house. And then I had a mortgage, and I was like, okay, it's mine. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, what did I do? Right?
It's so funny, though, because how long have we been there? 12 years. How long have you been in this house after you bought
it? Now it would be 22 years.
She still talks to her mother about changing one thing in the house. Her mom starts figuring out, why are you going to change that? Well, don't be changing my house. I'm like, 22 years, and she's still... it's crazy.
But yes, I've made a lot of changes, I feel like.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot better. It's not 100% what I want. There's still a couple more things I want to eventually do, but it's really nice now. I like it. Mary T said, our oven died a few months ago.
Oh, no,
I haven't replaced it because I want to get gas. It's free for the gas company to hook up a meter.
Yeah, because they want your money. That makes sense.
Then need a gas fitter to install in the house, about $1,000. Yeah. Oh, wow. Now, see what they said when I looked it up here. They said the main road, so it's good because we are on the main road, has the gas line, but you would have to pay for them to plug the gas from the street to our house and then change out all the fittings. Yeah. So they were saying, what did I tell you, like 10 to 15,000 or something for that?
Not worth it. It was already set up. Wow.
And I'm like, that's hot. But $1,000 still,
I know.
It just turns. How's the job doing, Mary T?
Yeah.
Do you have any more tea on what all is going on and what's happened? Let's see. Rickwood said, it's warming up. They're going to get in the 60s next week, then cold again, mixed up weather.
Right.
Isn't it ridiculous, this weather, y'all? Like, why is it coming here? And I think, who was it? Somebody I know was like, sorry, y'all, you got our weather. And I'm like, yeah, stop lending your weather down here. We're not, it was like it flipped, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, it's like one meme always flips around this time of year. It's like, hey, Northerners, your weather down here and is drunk.
Right? But I'm going to say, I saw several pictures of New Orleans.
Yes.
That looks magical with the snow. I was like, OMG. I love that even more. I didn't think New Orleans could get any better. And then they got snow. And I was like, it did. People in our subdivision were actually building snowmen.
Wow. Were they not as big as this bottle?
No, I saw when I drove out to get Dutch the other day for double Dutch days or whatever. I went and got some Dutch in the evening, and some of them were still in the yard. But at this point, the snow's basically, most of it's gone, but because it was so compact, so the snowmen look so sad because they're all like just a big clump.
I think it was yesterday. I still had snow on my tonneau cover and on my windshield.
Wow. Well, goodness. Well, yeah, because it was yesterday was the Dutch, right?
Yeah.
So I went last night, yeah. And that's where I was like, wow, the snowman. But here's the thing. And y'all, again, I need my northern friends to tell me. Every time I've ever seen a snowman, they look very beautiful and white. Very white, clean looking, right? Just real fluffy.
They come from a good home.
No, just fluffy and it looks clean, right? That's the pictures I've always seen of snowmen. Y'all, the people in the subdivision that were doing snowmen, these were the dirtiest snowmen.
It was also mixed with mud.
It was mixed with mud, leaves, pine needle. We have pine needles down here. So, and people in the Facebook group were like, share a picture of your snowmen. And these snowmen all having, like dirt all over them and then having leaves sticking out and pine needles. I'm like, oh, this looks awful. That's terrifying. If I ever saw that on like a print or a card, I would not be sending that to anyone. It's like, those are so dirty.
Discrimination.
No, not like that. It was just, they were just look dirty. Didn't you think?
I don't want your raggedy snowman.
It was like mostly mud, I guess. Holding. That's probably why they were still up last night, because it's like 80% mud, a little bit of snow. Oh goodness. 22Q Cat said, all of these expenses we're talking about with owning our homes, but I'd rather do this than pay the super high rents on an apartment and then up with nothing at the end of the year. Nope.
And then randomly they would just raise the price on you too.
Well, yeah. Well, taxes get raised sometimes too. Yeah, it really does depend on the area. I feel like here it's definitely cheaper in the long run to own a home. But I get why some people in other places like LA or San Francisco and stuff, it ends up being cheaper to rent because the homes are just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely all the errors. I still love my home. And I was like, oh, that would be, like if we ever wanted to move, that would be so hard. Because it's like exactly what we want, right? Yeah. And that's what we were like, gosh.
And the location is good too.
Yeah. And that's our thing is we were like, oh, if we ever go anywhere else, like we could never find a home that's as perfect for us as this home is.
Right.
As it's just like everything. And I think it, because we have been able to make the changes, so we've really been able to customize it. And I guess like a few times when I've gone with Heath, back when he would work new construction, I would go in and look at the homes and I'm just like,
why?
Everything just looks so the same. Mm-hmm. Like it's the same house. Even if it's a different builder, it's the same house all the time and the same kind of designs. And I'm like, oh, I
usually when I saw
this.
They have maybe 12 full floor plans you can pick from.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There was one builder, they would only have 4 in a subdivision.
Right. And one, they could build the house from the time they scrape the lot to return the keys over to the homeowner, 80 days. That's scary.
I know. So
so I think that's the same one. Only had like maybe 4 floor plans.
Yeah. But it is nice. And once I have my home paid for, it'll be even nicer.
Right.
That's why as soon as the cars are paid off this year, y'all.
Both of them?
Both of them this year. So once those are paid off, I'm just going to start double paying on it and hopefully get it completely paid off in the next 5 years.
And then we can start vacations.
We can start vacations?
Like real ones. Yeah.
But I think that'd be really nice to have the house paid for before we're even 55.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be amazing? So that's the plan here. That's my future goals so far. I guess I should say our future goals. But yeah. Mary T said, oh my God, y'all, it's been a poop show at work. Oh, here we go. I need a drink for this.
I think she does too.
She says, now everyone knows all my agents have quit in both offices.
Wow.
But the boss still hasn't said one word to me. Not sure my key will work on Tuesday.
Oh, wow. That's different.
OMG. Mary T. Wow. Keep me updated. This is the kind of tea I like. The little drama. I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Mary T said that's because you get wet, slushy snow.
Yes.
Our snow usually so dry I can't make a snowman. I have to resort to snow angels. I'm so sad we have no snow. Worried about fire in the summer. Oh, because the snow then helps water every. Oh, wow. Well, hopefully that it'll be on the uptick and you'll get some snow and that'll keep the ground nice and wet. Rickwood said, Shelly, do the research, but don't double pay the mortgage. Put the money into paying off the interest. Yeah.
Oh.
That's where it's easier to pay off the house. Yeah. On mine, because I looked into it, right? Because, sketching out my 5-year plans, and you select, your monthly, of course, and then down below, it'll say either make an interest payment and you fill in the amount or a principal payment. So, yeah, I would be doing, trying to get that paid off and selecting that. But I'm just saying, I plan on basically what my monthly note is right now. That's what I'm going to. So when I'm saying double pay, I mean, I'm going to match it and make sure that I'm paying that amount, twice every month in total of my expenses. So hopefully I'm excited though.
Sorry, it's really hitting me.
Uh-oh. Well, do y'all have any other questions, concerns, anything else you want to ask us? Oh, yeah. The one thing you were going to talk about with Visual Keto posted about the show we're watching.
Oh, yeah. I have always heard stories and quoted X-Files. Woo-hoo. But I've never sat down and watched a full episode ever. So we decided on a whim the other day we were going to start watching it. We're still on season 1, aren't we?
I think so.
But
there's a lot of episodes. They're like 20 episodes each season.
But she had posted that they're fixing to come out with a season 12.
So if you let me know if you're an X-Files fan.
Yeah. That's our new show we've been watching now.
Yeah, so they're going to come out with season 12 this year. So
maybe we'll get through to it by then.
Right? Because we're going through them, but they're pretty good so far. But again, we're just now on season 1. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm watching, I guess for some reason.
I don't know why we missed it before.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel like I might have seen it here and there. I feel like that was a cable channel I didn't get. Because I didn't get cable. But I don't know. But anyways, but David Duchovny, the way he plays his character, I'm like, I didn't picture him that way.
Have you ever seen him in anything else? I don't remember what other shows you've seen him in. You said you didn't watch his other show.
Well, I might have seen like an episode of Californication, but I don't think does he act the same in that? Because to me, he seems like a very not
typecast with his.
No, I'm trying to say he seems very geeky.
Oh, right.
Very geeky and almost timid.
Yeah.
So it's funny when he's like not timid because I don't expect it because I'm like, he always just seems so like, I have to whisper and I'm very demure. And I just never pictured all the time I've heard of X-Files and everything, I didn't picture him being like that. I thought he was more like this is what the ghosts are doing or something like that,
Like
I don't know.
A ghost hunter?
Yeah, I think that's what I figured. He was kind of like one of the ghost hunter types. But yeah, we're enjoying that.
See what I mean? I'm trying to do too much at once.
Yeah.
Almost fell. Ooh, take that. Can you here? We need to go ahead and start.
Are we putting the biscuits in here first or no?
No, we'll put them in a baggie.
Oh, okay. Mary T said he changed the locks at the other office. Oh, and scratched everyone's name off the door. So I won't be surprised if he locks this office down as well.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Is that on a vendetta run or something?
Wow. Well, he did cut everybody's commissions or something. Some kind of fee. 22Q Cat said season 12 of the X-Files, and I've never watched that first show for whatever reason. You either. Wow. Yeah, I never watched watched any. I mean, I might have caught an episode. You know, I feel like back in the day, because this was show. What? Oh, yeah. This show started in 94. So I was still in high school, y'all. So in 94, it was like, you know, that was before, what was the first recording one called? You know, like where you can record a show if you wanted to.
Oh, VCR.
No, the
DVR?
was it DV? No, you know, because you had it, you told your dad.
Yeah, it's DVR. It's digital video replay. Or digital video recording. Yeah, that's what it is, DVR.
That you got through the cable company?
Yeah, they sent you a special box for it.
Oh.
Because the story was when I first got the DVR, my dad was coming over and he wanted to watch a football game. He's like, "Why don't you fast forward it?" I was like, "Dad, it's not a time machine. I can't go in the future. You're watching real TV." What they say, you can rewind and fast forward. Yeah, when it's recorded.
So, anyways, back in the 90s, if you didn't catch the show when it was on the time, you just didn't catch it.
Right.
And then they might not even replay it all the time either. You know,
not everything was in syndication.
Do you have like a knife or a spoon or something?
Not now. I'll put it in the sink like a dummy.
Well, we got others, I think. So yeah, I missed some of those originally, but so I would just catch it, you know, here or there. And
the beauty of that though, it's one of those standalone shows where you don't have to. If you missed one episode, you're not really out anything.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
I like that. And when I was reading Reddits on it, that's what they were saying is the Monster of the Week ones were far better shows than I guess when they did like the
continuations.
Yeah, or the movies and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay.
We don't need a spoon to get the rest of that out, don't we? It's the only bad part about that spatula. Huh?
Yeah, but that's all right.
Because I was thinking is to reheat that those biscuits, either put them in the oven or the air fryer.
Yeah, I'd probably do the air fryer. You know, the air fryer has a reheat option.
We'll be seeing that stuff on the computer though.
I know, that's what I'm trying.
Well, you're gonna scoot over. Oh man, I am so full, y'all.
I know. Get the rest of this. Can't let that go to waste, right, y'all?
Well, you know I'm fixing to make scrambled eggs in it anyway, so.
Oh, are you?
I'm gonna put the lid on and put it in the oven and hold. That's honestly, y'all, especially if we make meat in it, it's my favorite way to clean the skillet is to cook scrambled eggs in it. There's all that mixture in there too.
Yeah.
I've always been big on recycling. That's why I love it too. I saw some clip, a little reel or whatever a while back. Some guy was talking smack some older dude, talking about the kids making fun of him as the way they lived and everything back in the day. And he's like, look, we invented recycling. We used to do it all the time. Y'all are the ones that quit doing it. You used to get paid to turn in your bottles.
Oh, where'd it go? Ooh.
And again, recycling. We got all these from the hotel, remember?
Mary T said they used to film X-Files in Vancouver.
Oh, nice.
One night, 11 p.m., I'm sitting there and looked outside just in time to see a huge explosion. It was X-File filming. Scared me to death.
That's awesome.
Wow, I bet it did. But that's pretty cool.
Well, she got over it. She came back to life. That is awesome.
Rick Witt said, I used to watch The Sentinel. That was filmed in Vancouver. Oh.
I never saw that. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
But that's one of my, I've always been a big TV nerd. Grew up that way and everything. I'm a couch potato my whole life, I guess. But Shelly is just now coming into it now. So there's so many shows and movies she's never even seen. I've introduced her to so much stuff.
Well, because my thing was, okay. when I was in school. I was a nerd. So I wasn't watching TV. I was studying.
Right. Nope.
And same through college.
I
And
couldn't
then,
spell school.
and then when I got a job, I always loved playing video games. And so I would get off work and I would just play video games. So yeah, I just did not watch TV for a long time because I would much rather play a video game.
Right.
That was my source of entertainment. So yeah, a lot of them I'd be like, and then maybe like if I was dating someone and they would be like, oh, let's watch this. And then I might see, a show or something, but then whenever we'd break up, then I would never continue watching it.
Right.
Like, oh well. Mary T said they call Vancouver Hollywood North. Even has a fake Western town. Oh, that's so cute.
But I'm what do they call him, a completist? Because I can't watch a show. I can't catch it in the say there's 6 seasons. I detest starting watching it like season 2 or 3. I have to start at the very beginning. It drives her nuts too.
Well, especially if it's like on this show where you really don't have to.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't change when they're standalone episodes.
But sometimes they do callbacks and show you stuff.
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm a completist.
Rickwood said, I saw an article today, didn't read it, that real estate sales are on the lowest they've been in years.
Wow.
Oh, and maybe he's cutting his losses and to heck with people. Wow.
You have to go turn it down. It's starting to get too warm.
Yes.
You mean turn it down or turn it off?
I guess turn it down to 63.
Okay.
22 Cat said, oh, I totally forgot we couldn't watch shows on demand back then, right? I was working an evening shift at that time and couldn't watch so many of the evening shows. Right. Isn't that funny to think of? There was a time where, yeah, you couldn't just rewatch. Like you had to hope that they would replay it. And that's why if like something was happening, how it was such a big deal, you're like, no, I have to be home by 7:30. Because it was like, if you're late, then it's like, oh, what happened? And then you have to wait until you talk, because you couldn't text anybody or message anyone. Then you'd have to either call them.
What do they call it too, though? It was water cooler talk.
Right.
Everybody the next day at work will be talking about the show, and you want to be left out.
Right. And I was watching one of my new favorite comedians, Josh Johnson. He was talking about that, and I know he's younger than me, right? And he was saying how he was talking about modems, and he's like, when you had to explain a modem to a kid now, he's like, I say kid, he's like, I was training someone at work, and I was like, oh yeah, the modems, and he was like, a what? And he's like, the modems, that's how you would connect to the internet. And the guy was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh my gosh, I never felt so old. Because there are people now in the workplace who never had to go through, dialing up or figuring out, okay, the modem's on the internet, but I'm not on the internet.
But then mom or dad picks up the phone and knocks you off.
Right.
That one, I hated that.
And they're like, so they're like, he's like, no, there was a time where you didn't just have the internet anywhere you went. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
Or
how quickly we forget about how difficult it used to be. Like you couldn't, let me look that up for you, dear. Like how many times have we been outside of the house and you have been like, oh, what was such and such? I'm like, oh, I can't remember. Google it.
I told you that one interview guy I watch all the time, Chris Van Vliet. He will sit there and do that. They'll be doing an interview, and one or both of them will go, Why are we scratching our brain? He goes, we only have the world's information in our hands right now. And he will literally pull out of his pocket his phone. They'll start looking it up. Right. And they'll make it part of the show.
Well, my thing is, back then, before you had that option,
you had to go.
you had to discuss it and then think about it. And then it was so easy for misinformation because somebody would be like, oh, yeah, that's what Sally said it is. Yeah, Sally said it. And then you would tell everybody else. And then it's like, no, cornbread isn't made from, dried bugs or whatever, whatever the myth was. And it's like, but no, that's who I heard from her, but nobody could Google it.
I remember growing up too. We had a whole collection of encyclopedias.
Right.
You don't need that anymore.
No, because here it is.
You know what we do instead now too? We have this whole shelf right here full of cookbooks. We never open them up anymore. We use the internet instead. That is our cookbook now.
Right. Rickwood said, I remember when I got my first VCR, I could finally tape my shows if I couldn't watch it right, and how you would try to program them. Remember when you could program it?
I remember my dad used to go to the video store. It wasn't a Blockbuster. I think it was before Blockbuster, actually.
Probably.
He would go rent the VCR and bring it home so we could watch it, and then he'd take it back. Wow. I remember that. And I think back then it was the beta.
Wow.
And it was a top load too.
Yeah. 22 Cat said, oh my God, how did we even live back then?
Right?
I don't.
So quaint.
Oh my gosh. Like hearing Josh Johnson make that joke about the modem. And I'm like, oh, poor thing. I remember before that, I remember you just had to plug into an actual phone jack.
Uh-huh.
And then dial in.
Well, I told you too, my stepbrother had one of the first computers I've ever seen. It's a little piece. And it was the computer and the keyboard all in one piece. It's kind of like you have right now. But his monitor was a TV. It's an old black and white TV he would plug it into. And I think it was by Texas Instruments.
Oh, wow.
Either that or Tandy. It was one of the two. I don't remember.
I remember the first one we had. All I remember, y'all, my parents, again, how am I even here today? But anyways, they were walking in the mall, and in the little middle kiosk, somebody was set up selling, and I don't even remember the name anymore, but they were called it a home education system, and that's what it was like. A little, it had it was the what is it, monochrome, whereas the orange, and it was like a little box with the keyboard attached. Because I don't even think they had detached keyboards in, but it was all attached. And you would plug it into the phone line. And then you would, connect. And it was supposed to be education. Well, I got learned. Because then you've learned about, the different chat rooms and how to chat and stuff. So your parents think, you're studying biology, not the textbook type.
Well, that's what they say too, though. They always told us, don't ever talk to anybody on the internet.
Right?
Don't ever meet in person. Don't ever call somebody, get in a car with a stranger. But now we use the internet to get to hire a stranger and get in his car.
I know.
For Uber and Lyft.
22 Cat said, yes, I was super excited to get a VCR, right? Remember that? Where it was like, oh, I've got a VCR now. Now I get to watch movies whenever I want.
Right.
And nowadays people would be like, you just go to the channel and you select it. And it's like, there was a time if you wanted a movie that was not playing on TV channel, you had to go to a store and hope
they had it.
They still had it.
What I hate too, when you did watch it on TV, it was always edited for time.
Oh, right. You would miss, and then they would cut out some of the best parts. Because then I remember watching it later. I'd be like, okay, I missed this whole section here.
That's why I refuse to watch made for TV or when they
oh yeah,
when it comes on regular TV. I'm like, nope.
But isn't that funny how I remember the days of Blockbuster and being like, oh my gosh, I hope they have it.
Be kind, rewind.
But then you would get there and they would show okay, it was a really popular movie. We'll just say Goonies is out. And they'd have it all up there and you'd be like, oh, and you would just see the faceplate and then you'd be like, oh, there's not the cassette. And you would, keep going and there would have 10 or 15 and then you would no, I missed it.
One of the cool things I did,
or you would get the last one and then somebody behind would be like, oh.
What's really cool though, growing up, my mom worked for a company called Home Vista,
Oh yeah.
and they were the ones she would go into the stores and do the resets and put them in the store so people would go buy them. But I don't remember what part of her job she was doing it for, but she would get the early releases from it and bring them home. And we would watch it.
Wow.
But it'd be a streamer going across the screen every once in a while, not for public display or something like that. For like one of those like the
or not for public sale, right?
Yeah, it's like something like that.
Yeah, because it was the one they would play in the store.
Yeah, but I don't think that they even showed that part on the store though, even. But if you bring it home, we'd watch them. She's like, I have it. Why not?
Oh, here we go. Renee said, I've been watching the new series, The Pit,
I've heard
on Max. New episodes released Thursday. I'm hooked, but I know y'all don't like it when all aren't available, and I usually do too, but this one is good.
Okay.
Yes, my work sister, whenever the first one, the pilot came out, after she watched it, she immediately messaged. She was like, you need to watch the show. And I'm like, well, we're starting the X-Files. And she's like, no, you need to watch it. And then she's like, oh, the worst thing is having to wait till Thursday.
Yes.
But she watched it like 3 or 4 times. She's like, it's that good. Every time I watch it, I get something else. But I'm like, but girl, that's because you don't sit and watch a movie. You're always walking around, or a TV show, nothing. She's always doing other stuff. And I'm like, that's why you have to watch it 3 or 4 times. My butt is sitting on the couch watching the whole thing. Because
in fact, y'all, I have a list on my my thing here of all the shows I want to watch, and I have written down the end date too, when the the season finale is. So that's when I go get it, and that's when I'll watch it.
But I've heard The Pit is really good. And when I found out what it was, I was thinking, I wonder if Renee's gonna like it.
What is it though? I don't remember exactly.
It's a medical drama.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very similar to ER, is what I've heard.
I've never saw that either.
Oh, I watched it for quite a while. That's where George Clooney really blew up.
I thought he first was on Roseanne.
Yeah, but I think it was everybody really swooned over him when he was in ER.
Okay.
But I think it's very similar to that, though, right? 22, such nonsense, right?
For what is it?
All the nonsense of how it used to be.
Right.
Mary T said, Mr. T still PVRs everything. He can't grasp streaming for some reason. The other night he's looking at a show saying on demand there is 4, but it only taped 2, so watch on demand.
Wow.
What? He looked at me like I had 3 heads. Oh, goodness. Oh. 22 Cat said, I don't remember watching Jack Parr, but I sure remember Johnny Carson. Yes. Oh, I love Johnny Carson.
I love the stories, too, all the comedians and the actors and talk. Well, mainly the comedians talking about how it was the greatest day in the world when he called them over to join him.
Yeah, on the couch.
Yeah. That's when I knew they made it.
Rickwood said she liked Great Karnak.
All right.
And Johnny Carson. I don't know the first one, but yeah, I really love Johnny
I thought he was
Carson.
one of his characters.
Was he the one with the little hat?
Yeah.
Okay. Sean said we had a Commodore VIC-20. We plugged that into our TV. We used to have a tape drive to load programs.
Maybe that's what I was talking about.
That sounds like it. Well, do you remember when AOL came out?
Yes.
And you would get the disc in the mail?
Did you see the person that the people that would take them and make like figurines with them or pictures?
Right, people started doing that. But I remember getting it and I was just like, I don't know. And like that will forever be etched in my brain. Even now, sometimes when I'm like, okay, I got to connect to the internet, still in my brain, I see the little running man, the little man with the dots from AOL days of staring at the screen like, how long is it going to take to connect?
Right.
Oh, goodness. Brenda F. said, laugh aloud, I bought a VCR, waited for 6 months for my brother to come set it up.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well, it's when I first got my Nintendo. The very first, the NES, I could not hook it up. My mom refused to let us hook it up to the living room TV because she's afraid it would break it.
Oh, wow.
And I had to play Excite Bike on a black and white TV. That messed me up so bad.
She said they only had an antenna 50 foot, but no cable. Oh, man. I'm a stoner said, I remember reserving the Faces of Death tapes at the local video store. Yep. Oh, you could reserve? Yeah, I kind of remember that.
You almost had to. Like you said, when you went in and they were gone, so people reserved them.
Yes. And then that would tick me off because I'd see it like behind the counter. I'd be like, I just want to grab it. Isn't that hilarious?
Yes.
Kids these days, they're so lucky. We did all the hard work.
Well, that's what they said too, though. Everybody started ditching cable. But now you're paying for all these streaming services. You're actually paying more than you are for cable.
Ridiculous. Rickwood said, laugh out loud. Shelly, back in my day, they didn't even have stores that had movies.
Right.
It was just black and white 40s movie at night, a theater, or a drive-in.
Or back in the day too, remember
the
television, the stations would go off air and they play the national anthem and then they could go off.
Oh wow!
I remember doing that too.
Oh wow! My parents didn't let me stay up that late. I thought stayed up till 9 o'clock.
Right.
Oof.
Or that's when they started playing the infomercials. Also was late.
Oh, I know. That would just. And then what would be the worst is when you couldn't sleep and all you could watch was infomercial.
Right.
And Cleo. Don't forget Cleo.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I always said all the time, the whole time too, though. She wasn't that great of a psychic because why isn't she calling me? She knows I'm sitting there watching her. Why isn't she calling me?
I'm a stoner said, I'm the same way with watching stuff because I can't sit still. As soon as I sit still, well, you'll know what happens.
Because I'm getting home to her too about it. She starts missing something or playing on the phone. Like, no. You need a sound one. It's a visual medium. You have to watch it. That's why it was designed.
And yet, I will look over and catch you on the computer.
Well, it's on certain shows. Sometimes I will.
Oh, so sometimes it's not a visual media?
Well, sometimes it's not supposed to be. It's just background noise.
Oh, okay. Wow. Rickwood said, I used to have a VCR that would play either U.S. movies or movies from Europe.
Oh, wow.
Whoa,
I didn't know there were sizes. That's crazy.
Then my friends would send me their movies I could watch, not always in English.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's fun. Mary T said, my sis told my daughter how she had looked everywhere for Wizard of Oz soundtrack for a friend who had never seen it. My daughter asked, why not just rent the movie? VCRs weren't invented yet.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. To ATQ Cat, Cleo and laughing. I'm saying the trauma we went through. If you woke up or you were awake past 11 p.m., what could you do?
Or the other ones that I used to do too. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
I know.
That's so embarrassing. The fact they even had to do that. Which one of them was in their coffin?
That sounded like Delilah. But yeah, after 11 o'clock, if you were like awake and you couldn't go to sleep, there was nothing. You either read a book, but like when I was younger, because I've always been a night person. And when I was younger, you couldn't turn a light on because then your parents would know you were awake.
Uh-huh.
And then, so it was just what did you, I can't even remember what we did. I just remember, as an adult, I just sit there and watch infomercials and be like, really? Like, that's silly. And I'm like, why can't I go to sleep?
You're watching all this garbage. But you don't remember the TV stations playing national anthem at the end of the show, at the end of the day. You don't remember that?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I'm younger than you. Sean said, we used to park outside the drive-in movies and watch the movies for free.
Yep,
we couldn't hear them, but we could see everything.
Right.
Got really good at lip reading.
Right. They weren't talkies. Remember back in the day, they were what do they call it? Silent movies. So that's what they were for them too.
Oh, right.
I mean, I was so bad too, though. We used to get dropped up at the Dollars Theater there in Almond, and we would hop movie to movie. We paid for to get into one, and we'd walk around the other ones. Or my mom, I loved it too, though. She would go to the local movie house, the rental place, and drop $20 and come home with a stack of movies. That's where I saw, like, I don't know how many different movies growing up, too. It was fun. So sad, I've been a couch potato my whole life. That's the first time I saw The Wraith.
Oh, yeah. We watched that not too long ago.
It was an awesome movie.
Oh, wow. So funny. Have you ever gone to a drive-in?
Yeah.
I have never.
It's
Never
not worth it.
once.
Especially, we thought about doing it the one time.
Yeah.
But when we thought about it, it was like 200 degrees outside. I'm like, nope.
I was like, wait, how does it work? How do you watch?
You have to turn the AC off, and you have to roll under.
And I was like, oh, that sounds horrible.
yeah. Well, why do that when I have a couch?
Sean said the NTSC format, Joe. I remember that. Oh.
No, I don't remember that. All I remember was
Oh.
beta before the VCR.
Oh.
Or I remember
Wow.
also, my parents had a camcorder. It had a mini tape on it. You had to take it and pop it into another one, so then it would play in a VCR.
Oh.
And then also, from my first car, I actually had a 8-track player on it. And it had a thing I could put in there and play cassettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And then I don't remember how I ended up with it, but I had a home audio system. It was a reel-to-reel. It was a big, almost as big as the light on this camera thing right here.
Wow.
It was a reel-to-reel player for the audio stuff. And I don't remember. I think I still have one or two of them in the shed back there.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
But I don't have a player for them, so I don't even remember what's on them.
Tweet Cat said, oh yes, the national anthem with the flag blowing in the wind when the TV stations went off the air for the night.
Yep.
Wow.
Because people thought it was crazy that they were going to do Sports Center. Like, what are y'all going to talk about all day? There's no game on. They made up stuff to talk about.
I'm saying.
It's still so boring. I'm not a sports guy. I thought it was for a while. I have one.
Really? What was this?
Well, remember every once in a while we watch football. You got me the one guy from the Texans, JJ Watt. I got the one post signature thing of his.
JJ Watt, yeah.
That's as far as it went. I used to watch it every once in a while, but it just gets so boring watching other people do stuff. If I'm doing that, I might as well watch TV. If I'm watching them do stuff, let's do something
You're
entertaining.
just like, so to you, like other people are like, oh, this is a fun sport. It's a game. It's a challenge. You're like, I'm just watching somebody work.
Right. And I said, and I'm from Texas, so I don't know. They don't know what winning is. If they don't want to win, why do I care about watching them?
That's just so funny to me. I don't want to just sit there and watch other people work.
Right.
Like, somebody's gonna record me doing my balancing for my job and stuff. Woo! Look what I'm doing. You're just
Well, it's like my dad used to say too, though, about football, about baseball, though. So I was just watching two grown men play catch. What's that?
Wow. See, similar hates. I don't care for sports either. And see,
What's it? They call it sports ball. I don't watch that.
I mean, I do remember when you were like trying to watch football, and I was like, okay. And I was always like, I don't get it. But all right, you go right ahead.
Back in the day when I used to play poker all the time, though, there's one guy that he would never make during football season. He would never come out and play games with us because he was at home betting football. He said he made more money betting football than he did playing poker. I was like, oh, all right, good on you.
Yeah.
He literally had 6 games playing at once. He had a bunch of TV stuff so he could do that and see what was going on.
Wow.
I was like, dude, that's like a job.
Right? I remember, I guess it would be my grandpa. Because he started the first Little League.
Oh, wow.
And he was so into football. Yeah, way back then. So I guess this, what was that, the 60s or the 50s? I don't know how long back. But anyways, he would have several TVs going on the different channels so he could be watching the different football games. Or hearing, I don't know what they did back then. I just know my mom said that he would have several going at once. Maybe it was radios. I feel like probably. She was born in 46, so I guess as she remembers, probably was the 50s.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Anyway, Shad said, I remember they had Super TV as a pay RV station before cable.
Oh, wow.
It was like HBO.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that at
I
all.
don't either.
Interesting. Rickwood said, yes, Heath, I would stay up until the TV turned off, waiting on my mother to get home from work.
Oh, wow.
Shelley, did you never read books under the covers with the flashlight? No, not under the covers. I always had to be out of the covers, I guess.
No, she meant like hiding, saying you're staying out of
No,
reach.
I would usually, I think what I typically did is I had a really tall bed. It was queen size, so I would get on the other side on the floor and read there. But not like, I don't know. I guess I don't like my head covered by a sheet.
I don't either. I hate that. I feel claustrophobic.
To HQ Cat said drive-ins were fun. Used to show 3 movies for one price.
Oh, wow.
You missed out, Shelley.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I didn't even know. Growing up, I didn't even know where one was.
Right?
Mary T said drive-ins were the best when we were little. We would go to a double feature, bring our pillows and blankets, and fall asleep during the second movie. Wow, how cute is
Well, that's why I'm
that?
always laughing at us anyways, remember? Because we'll sit and watch a whole season of a TV show. But we think it's crazy to sit down and try and watch a movie, though.
Yeah, we'll be like, oh, watch a movie
I don't
this
understand
late?
it. I think it's because every show's at least 30 minutes to an hour, and we know at least get a break and we get to go do something. Go to the
Mhm.
bathroom, fix a drink, whatever. Without having to pause the movie.
Oh, Sean said they played the national anthem at the beginning and the end of every broadcast day. It was 6 a.m. until 12 a.m.
I don't remember at the beginning.
Oh, wow. To HQ Cat said the speakers you would put in your car in the drive-ins were absolutely horrible,
Right?
but we thought it was neat back then anyways.
Was it the same technology they're still using for the drive-through? Yeah. Well, that's why sometimes too, like we'll be sitting there, I'll be listening to whatever on my phone, of music, or whatever. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It sounds like a transistor radio, and I just hate that sound.
Sean said, I'm a Washington fan. They are playing in the NFC Championship game this weekend. It's the first time since 1992 they made it this far in the playoffs. Super
Wow.
stoked.
That's awesome.
Wow, that sounds like fun for you. NFC is
National Football
Oh,
Conference,
football.
I think.
football.
Yeah,
Well, I
I-
was just wondering which sport it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, so since my mother grew up with a father that was a huge sports fanatic, she was very anti-sports. So when I was growing up, my brother was in football, I think a couple years, but I was just so little that they would the cheerleaders would take me out on the field with them because, oh, it's so cute. She's so little. Like I was like 3 or whatever. But that was it. But then he stopped after a couple years. So I never had to go to like games and stuff that I remember,
Yeah.
And so that was it. My parents just never, and then as far as I know, my father was not the sporting type. Like he would think he could be a quarterback, but he was not built for a quarterback or anything sporty. And so they just never did sports. So I've never understood like any of them. I've always been like a Jeopardy, any topic but sports. I could probably get a few answers, but when it comes to sports, I know nothing.
And why it was crazy for me because I grew up playing baseball mostly. I played a couple of years of football, little league, but mostly it was baseball. But it was just so wild. My dad ended up marrying the coach's wife. Well, I don't remember. They split up somehow, and then my dad got roped into helping her coaching the team, and then that's how they got together. So I ended up having my stepmom, the coach being my stepmom. That was awful. And then
That's country living.
I'm telling you. And then my younger brother, her son, was a grade behind me. We were on the team together. So I never got away from him. No, it was wild.
Right?
Well, that's what I told you too. It's crazy. My dad, before he got together with my mama, actually dated my stepdaddy's sister for a while. That's how small town it was. I tell you, that's country.
That is country.
I can almost be my
Which
own
is
brother.
so weird to me because, like, my mother met my father while they were both in California. But so my grandfather was in the Air Force, but then they got moved, and then she moved with them to Oklahoma. But then Joe, and I guess, no, his father was in the Navy. I don't know what he was doing in California. But anyways, he ended up going back to Maine. And they wrote letters for several months to each other, and then basically then got married. That's how she dated. Like,
wow.
So nobody that I know was like in a small town like you. So every time you tell me these stories, I'm just like, that is crazy.
I got a better one for you. My brother, my cousin, and my best friend all dated the same girl. Not at the same time, but at different point.
You sure?
Over several years. Yeah. But it's just wild. It's all the same.
That's like stuff you hear. I always thought they were like, what are they called?
Polygamist?
Huh?
Polygamist?
Oh, no. I'm saying that's like myth stories. What are those called again?
Urban legend?
Yes, urban legends. And then you like tell me these. I'm like, no, he's lying to me. That's not for real.
Because I'm still friends with her on Facebook too. I went to church with her and her two brothers. She was the youngest sister of the two
That
guys.
explains a lot.
Yeah.
Mary T said, then when they figured out how to get it to play over the car radio, that was high technology, right? You're like, oh my goodness.
Well, I told you too. There's the one radio station. They're still in production there in Alvin.
Mm-hmm.
Their frequency is so low they can't reach. We can't tune into them up here. You have to be living down and out near Alvin to tune into them.
Oh yeah, that's coming.
It's
a local.
But it's the community college down there. It's their radio station.
Nice. 22Q Cat said The Graduate. Oh my, that was kind of scandalous back then, right? And Rick Wentz said, especially when Dustin Hoffman and the bride ran out of the church.
Oh, right.
And Sean said, Dustin Hoffman was great in The Graduate. I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
I've never seen the movie either.
Sean said, I grew up living only a few miles away from the stadiums and arena in D.C.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I got to go to a lot of sports games when I was younger, so I was a huge fan of all sports.
Okay.
How nice.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
The biggest claim to fame I ever had, though, growing up, I've probably told y'all a story before, but in baseball, actually, it's my first year at T-ball, Nolan Ryan's wife was our coach. And his daughter and his oldest son youngest son, I think, always played on our team. And then it was awesome, too, because we had the end of the year party at his house. And what made it even better, my grandfather actually worked on his house because he's originally from Alvin, Texas, where I grew up. When he moved back here to play for the Astros, that's where he moved back into. And he got to rebuild his house.
Oh, nice.
Him and his daddy and my dad both. My dad even has, he gave me one of the balls they gave him. My grandpa got, and it was from, Nolan Ryan signed it, and then the backside of it has the logo from the Angels. I thought it was pretty cool. And then I still have my personalized autograph ball from the party.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That's the closest I've ever gotten.
Wow. 22Q Cat said The Graduate came out in 1967, so no wonder I remember it being one of the dirty movies. Wow. I was only 8. Wow. It was dirty. Now, I thought The Graduate, what my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was like he was a young guy dating an older woman.
I think that's why.
Is
that's the dirty part, I think.
Ooh, so dirty.
I guess we got to go watch that.
Rickwood said, I was actually old enough to go see The Graduate. Some parts I didn't understand, but it was good acting. I was in my teens. Wow. Mary T said, my granddaughter shares a brother with her step cousin.
What?
Don't even try to figure it out. It's so complicated and wacky.
Well, it's like I tell people too, I have a half brother and a half sister. And sometimes they'll look at me, well, that's a funny looking person. I'm like, no, Like my brother, we had the same daddy, different mama. My sister had the same mama, different daddy.
Yeah.
Or like my dad, he has no full-blooded kin. Like brothers and sisters. None of them.
Yeah, they're all half on both sides, right?
Yeah, or the two youngest are actually adopted. So
Sean said that movie in the movie 10 with Bo Derek and Dudley Moore.
I never saw that either.
I remember hearing about Bo Derek. She was like the sexiest woman ever. 22Q Cat said 58 years later, and I never did see The Graduate. We'll see.
No.
We, I guess, aren't missing anything then.
Or we'll watch it with her. That's what we'll do. We'll set it up. No, we can't do it. We got to finish X-Files.
Brenda F. said, the small town I came from, a daughter-in-law, divorced son, married ex's dad, her father-in-law. What?
Whoa. This is some Jerry Springer stuff, right?
Whoa. That's kind of crazy. Daughter-in-law, divorced son, married ex's dad.
That one band I was playing with for a while, the drummer, he had an Uncle Dad. That's what they called him. He called him Uncle Dad.
Well, you know, my mom's best friend, she has an Uncle Dad because she doesn't know. Because I think
this guy grazed him, so that's what he called him.
Well, I can't remember if they were twins. Her uncle and dad were actually twins.
Wow.
I feel like, but there was questions with her mom. Apparently, she was dating both of them at the same time.
Wow.
Something like that. But I think her dad actually knew, or who she thought was her dad actually knew. I don't know. It was just like, ooh, okay. Sean said we would have the Redskins players come to our high school and play scrimmage basketball games. Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
I got to meet a lot of the Super Bowl team's players. Wow.
That's really cool.
That is.
The closest, next closest I ever got was I took a Shelly down there with me. One of the famous wrestlers is from Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Booker T. He has a school down in Houston now, or down in near Galveston. It's actually Texas City. That's just crazy too. I've told people that too. I was born in Texas City. I don't think you can get more Texas than that. But yeah, we've gone down there and I got to meet. That's where I got most of them autographed and hanging up in my Hall of Fame. They would do meet and greets. We got to meet several of them. That's the next closest I got to doing that.
Look,
That's pretty neat.
This is a Beatles song.
Uh-huh.
Cuckoo, Kachoo,
Right.
Mrs. Robinson, heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey.
Right?
So that's what it was based on. The Graduate was
I
based
think-
on Mrs. Robinson. Brenda F. said, imagine holiday dinners.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. As far as I know, at least, but you know what? My family, though, they're very good. Does anybody else have these families where they have lots of skeletons in the closet because they're always like, we don't talk about that? That's the family I grew up in.
Well,
You never discussed anything. If anything bad happened, you just didn't say anything.
Well, so I can tell you with the stepmom and everything like that. Her and my dad would talk about it when they talk about the kids, because I had two stepbrothers, and then I had my brother, and then we each had a half brother, and they would talk about it. Well, about the kids, yours, ours, and mine.
Yeah.
Yours, mine, and ours is what it was.
Oh, wow. Kendra said, can't believe it's been 38 years. I had my daughter at Houston Methodist Hospital.
Oh, wow.
Her birthday was the 22nd.
Oh,
well, happy belated
yes.
birthday to her. Wow. 38 years?
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, right? Rickwood said, thanks, Mary. Now I'm going to be hearing that song all night. Well, now what you have to do, unlike in the days we were talking about,
Right.
you have to go on
YouTube.
to YouTube and
Play.
put in that song and listen to the whole thing, and then that'll get it out of your head.
That's why I've always heard that's how you're supposed to fix. That's how you cure what they call earworms.
Mm-hmm.
You have to listen to the song and then it'll go away.
Now, back in the day, though, that was another thing was a challenge, because if you heard like a little bit of song, you were like, who was it that said, how does it go? And everybody would have to talk about it. Oh, it's Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, Mrs. Robinson.
I think. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah, Simon and Garfunkel. See, I don't even know that, y'all. Tweet to Cat. I think it was Simon and Garfunkel, not the Beatles. Okay. Yeah, Rickwood said Simon. And Sean said Simon and Garfunkel. Okay. Whoops.
Schooled us.
I know. See, now let's see. How old was that? So, 1967.
I wouldn't even thought about yet.
Nope. We sure weren't. In fact, my parents weren't even thinking of each other at that point.
It's getting late.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
And I'm still gonna run trash out of the street.
Yeah, thanks for driving down memory road with us. It's been fun. And remember, channel members, tomorrow night is our supper club. So I hope to see everybody there tomorrow. And thank you all so much. So here's the last one.
Oh, yeah, Sue's back over here. Sorry.
Oh, Sean said, I used to get Mrs. Robinson and the last train to Clarksville mixed up.
Oh, wow.
I don't, last train to mix.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know. I'll have to look that up, though, Sean, and see what that's about. All right, y'all. Bye.